Welcome to Curbrash. I feel like last time we went a little long being critical. We like, we're doing the Fast and Furious stuff, 5, 6, and 7 today. That's the plan. We like these movies a little better, and hopefully it's more of a celebration of the fact that we enjoy these movies rather than shitting on them. But they're not perfect, and that's what makes it fun. We know that they have weaknesses. But before we started, I wanted to give you a quick update. So next week we are going to be skipping a week. I've got a work function that requires my attention. I'll be out. Very important businessman traveling for work. No big deal, no big deal. But it is something we must do. And Nick has a lovely vacation he's been looking forward to, if I'm not mistaken. So we're gonna skip 1 week. Better to do that than to just and say it than to just BS and not show up. So, but before we get into criticizing movies, Nick. Is the MR2 back yet, or
No, still being worked on.
still being worked on? Christ.
Yep.
Do you have an expected date of delivery?
I don't. I did ask them, since they're going to be in there anyways, if they could do like a valve adjustment and just make sure it's all in spec.
Right.
Because the MR2 is all it's dual overhead cam, but it's like flat tappets. So each of the cams, when they rotate, there's like a bucket with a shim. It's shim under bucket, so inside the bucket there's a shim, and then that's what actually opens and closes the valves. So just making sure that's all in spec and everything's opening and closing as it should and as far as it should. So there's some stuff that's added some time to it. They're remaking some of my oil feed and return lines for the turbo just to route them a bit better. So obviously adding things adds time. So I'm hoping it'll be back. Sometime during my week off would be easy for me to pick it up, but maybe end of month-ish, we'll see.
Right. Maybe we can post something about it on Instagram, since we really haven't posted any of our cars on Instagram. Although I guess mine up in the air, and then Aaron's being worked on. So I guess you're due. You're due for a post. So
we'll see.
We'll see. But yeah, so we're just gonna fucking get started, because honestly, we got a lot to talk about, but we're going to try to condense it, and we can maybe hopefully keep it under an hour and 30. But we like these movies a lot more, but they're kind of funny to watch sometimes, because like I don't feel like I'm a pretty negative person, but like some of the shit that are in these movies that makes no sense. Like I want to start with Fast Five. So they break, like, after, more than anything, the movie kind of opens and like everybody's kind of destitute. That's the whole situation, right? Nobody's really up.
I do want to point out that in the opening scene, after they break Dom out of one of the most maximum security prisons in the States with a Dodge Charger and Acura NSX, Brian is rolling through the streets of Brazil in
that's what I was gonna say,
in a Hakosuka GTR.
Yep. And what? Which, no, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say, which even at the time of that movie was not a cheap vehicle.
Yeah.
For anybody that knows like GTR lore, they weren't as expensive as they are now, but they were far from cheap.
No.
And he's rolling through the streets of Brazil, and they're supposed to be destitute and have zero money and can't eat.
Yeah, like there's a whole scene immediately after where they go back to Vince of all people. I hate that guy. I know that's how they wrote, but every time I see that actor, I fucking hate that guy. And they're just like shoveling food in their mouth like they haven't eaten in how long. Understandable, right? But like, brother, what the fuck with the GTR? Like it's so not tracking. Like if anybody else would have been like, what would be cool if it was like a really ratty like 180SX or like something.
If you street parked a first gen GTR in the favelas, it would not be there in 5 minutes.
No, it would absolutely not be there pretty much immediately. There are children, like, when they park, there are kids staring at it.
Stealing parts off of the car as you are driving it.
There are
quickly that shit would disappear.
There are literally kids staring at that car when they park it, and those kids are going to run to tell somebody to get like $5 for tipping them off that there is a what were they even worth at that time? Like nearing $100,000? Like what?
They were probably still in like the mid to high 90s to maybe mid 100s.
Sure. So we'll worst one, you're going to be in $100,000.
Hackos have never been cheap.
No. they've never been cheap, but like this is what I'm saying is like there's no this makes no sense. Like there's a lot of stuff in these movies that don't make sense. That is the one that annoys me the most, and it's right at the beginning. You're like, all right, let's sit down, and they're on their bullshit again, and they're on their bullshit again. That would not, dude. A normal car would get stolen in the favelas of Brazil. It's fucking ridiculous. Honestly, man. How do you feel about the car stealing scene? How do you feel about that?
I like the cars that they're stealing.
Yeah.
I do really like the Corvette, the Stingray concept.
Very cool, yeah.
The actual stealing scene, like, come on.
Yeah, it's very much come
Nobody's
on.
gonna notice you blowtorching a hole in the side of a moving train.
No, obviously not. Also, like I just
the engineers are blind. Nobody's looking out the windows of that train.
Nope. Like, I love the Di Tommaso. I love that car. If I love the they do like a what do you call it? Like not restoration, but what's the other word that's leaving my head where you modernize it? Yeah, resto mod. Like the Di Tommaso resto mods that I've seen are crazy. I would love one of those cars. But yeah, I do like the Corvette, and it's just ridiculous. Like, wouldn't that destroy also the like the wheel bearings on those cars?
To like, I mean, like it's not good for them, but like just dragging them sideways isn't gonna like destroy them.
But I don't think it's dragging
like,
them. They like whip them sideways.
Yeah, like they whip them. Like it's they'd probably survive, but at the same time, like backing them off of the flatbed in the middle of the desert is it's they're really some movie magic going on here.
Yeah. Do you like when Vin Diesel appears? It's like a very iconic scene they reuse like in the later movies. You know, they are pulling them by the fucking wheel. I thought they were pulling by the frame. They're literally ripping them by the wheel. Yeah, when Vin Diesel appears out of the hole in the wall like the Archangel Michael himself. Just like a fucking superhero, this jackass.
The world is saved.
The world is fucking saved. Oh, the whole thing is just a gong show. But yeah, no, I mean like the cars are really cool at least. Like all the cars are good.
He shows up and then he immediately decides they're going to do something that pisses off the person they're working for.
Yeah, he just like I would never hire Vin Diesel to be a part of my plan. Like he must have a reputation on multiple continents for being an asshole. Like it's like always a problem.
Like so like all right, like you like there's something sus going on with the GT40. So like why don't you get it off the flatbed and like make it look like you're following their plan and wait until the train is out of sight before you make it entirely obvious that you are stealing the car.
No, that's not cool. That's not what family does. That's not what they do. Also, I love he makes these faces, and I don't know if he knows he's doing it, but like it's like there's a scene where a guy grabs him from behind and his face is like confusion. Like it's not like, oh, fuck you. It's like, what? Like he can't believe it. You know what I mean? Like he's not a very good actor if I'm honest.
He has very, you know what? He's a much better voice actor than he is an actor.
On that we agree. I don't know, man.
He's got a good voice acting voice.
Yeah. He's got that depth and that raspiness and like as an amateur voice actor. Yeah. Wait, that's him?
Yeah, he voices the robot in the Iron Giant.
Really? That completely I didn't even know that. That completely tracks. Yeah. No, he's got that like character voice for sure. He's also Groot if I recall correctly.
He is Groot.
He also says it in all. What I find funny is that he's Groot in every language, I think. So like he is Groot in Spanish, so he's like, "Hola, soy Gruto." Like that's what, like So I do agree. He's definitely a better voice actor than he is a traditional actor. He's got like I don't know. it's limited range, and there are times where it hits really well. But honest to God, I think I know that he's involved in the writing, and I know that he constantly wants to make himself look good. And so 90%
Yeah,
of the
and
time when
it's caused quite a bit of like problems with like
yeah,
the reason why there was a Fast and Furious spinoff and why The Rock didn't want to work on the main movies anymore is because of him.
yeah.
And then there was an issue on I think it was Fast 10 between him and oh my god, the guy that plays Dante. I forget his name. He was in Game of Thrones.
Oh, yeah, the guy who's
Um
fucking Fishman, right? Aquaman
yeah,
guy.
yeah. Jason
Momoa.
Momoa.
Yeah.
Yes.
Really, there was a thing
Where
between
like,
them.
yeah, there's a thing between them because like you know, I'll be honest, Jason Momoa really like he did everything he possibly could with the role in that movie. Like he
We agree.
played it as well as he could have. And I think that bothered Vin Diesel because it like made his character look a little boring.
Because his character is boring.
It is.
It just, I don't know. It doesn't make a whole.
Like you can only do the like Terminator robotic stoic family is everything for so
Yeah.
long before it's like, all right, we get it.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, they got picked up by the whatever the fuck his name is, Reyes. Then they escape Reyes, so it doesn't actually mean anything.
And this roofing plastic says you're full of shit.
Yeah. What a line. He wrote that one. We have to start counting how many lines Vin Diesel definitely wrote for himself, because
Oh, that was Paul Walker that said that was Brian
was
who
it?
said that.
Oh my god, I didn't even watch the fuck. Is it?
Yes.
That sounds like such a Vin Diesel thing. I don't know. I just assumed it was him. It's also the way you said it. No, it definitely. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. What a fucking jerk off.
But yeah, they get picked up by his guys and then
Yeah.
they break free from there.
Yeah.
And they fuck off to a safe house in the favelas where Vince arrives.
Yeah. To fuck it all up. I hate that guy so much.
Yeah, and then at this point they've been framed for murder for the
Yeah, they have.
the agents on the train that they stole the cars from.
Right.
And
You know
then
what? Vince in these movies is the same. It's the same feeling that I have if you probably watch Harry Potter, that Umbridge gives me from Harry Potter, like the horrible bitch from the 5th movie that everybody just can't stand because she acted so well. It just same energy, same fucking energy. I can't look.
You know what though? Vince was right.
He was right, but that's infuriating.
We wouldn't have 10 of them.
No, if he had listened to him in the first movie and blown Brian's head off, literally everybody would have lived happily ever after. But the problem is that Vince is such an unlikable fuck that I don't even think in character, I genuinely don't believe that Dominic Toretto enjoys Vince's company. I don't for a second. I think they've been together. He's one of those people that he's known for a long time and he can't seem to fucking get away from him, and now he's in too deep. You know, it's like
he's the guy that's around.
Yeah, he's the guy that's around. He's always at your house.
I'm pretty sure that's literally his lore. In the first movie, they say Vince just showed up one day and never left.
Dude.
They either say that about Vince or Leon. One of them.
I'm 50-50 on. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not sure. Because I know Vince had said I've known you since fucking 3rd grade or whatever the fuck he says in the first movie. Something like that. So that might be Leon then. With the crushed R33, Big Bird. But again, fucking sad, but whatever. And then, okay, so The Rock's introduction. This is a big one for us. I have always been strongly against. Excuse me, holy shit! I should not drink carbonated beverages while we do this, but I have always been strongly against The Rock as a concept. Just that he's in everything. He makes one face. You know, he just. I hate him as an actor.
One-liner.
Everything's a one-liner. And I know that
I honestly hate watching his introduction scene sometimes.
Yeah. Sometimes
it's that bad.
It is Yakuza from the 3rd Fast and Furious movie bad. It is like that scene for you then. It's like where you want to
Yes.
skip it.
Yes.
Yeah, because I do feel very similarly, but like he's so like if Vin Diesel and Dominic Toretto as an idea is like unlikable as shit, and just The Rock is the complete opposite thing where he just actually, I guess it's not the opposite, it would be the same thing where it's like he just says
It's the flip
one-liners.
side of the same coin.
Yeah, like he says one-liners and he's like very quirky and he's overly animated. He's got like all this energy, whereas Vin Diesel's like, and then he falls out of his fucking chair at the retirement home. But like The Rock is, it's like fucking, oh, I just can't with this
The
dude.
Rock's always fucking like big muscles glistening, walking like a fridge. They do his
Yeah.
introduction scene, and the cop's like, "What can we do to help you?" And he's like, "Stay the fuck
Stay
out of my way."
Stay out of my damn way, whatever he say. Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, it's so bad."
I hate the way that I'm not this person because I say horrible things to everyone I know, but the way he calls that lady cop woman all the time, or is it in the next movie where he calls that lady woman? Just the woman, like, I hate it. I fucking hate it. And it's not for a misogynistic reason. It just,
I honestly don't know which movie it is, but I
you
know,
know what I'm
exactly
talking
what you're talking about.
it
Yes.
irks me to no end. Why does he talk like that? Like,
Or like fucking, oh my god, when he's like, I like my dessert first.
oh, we talked
oh.
about this, but just give me the damn vegetables.
Oh,
Can you shut up?
Jesus Christ.
Oh my god, it's like an overactive like soccer coach. That's how it comes off. It's like the guy
It's
who's
funny because in Hobbs and Shaw, he is a soccer coach.
That's true. So I knew that and it came out because that makes sense. Whoever wrote him,
And you know what they do in that movie? They do the whole fucking like Samoan chant
I hate that so
at the
much.
beginning of,
I hate that shit. So
and then he's
I
like,
get
"Don't
it.
interrupt me while I'm listening to my Tay-Tay," and I was like, I don't even want to watch this
I don't
shit
even
anymore.
want to watch. We could talk about that for 4 hours. The idea, the sheer idea that after everything that's happened, those two assholes would ever be in the same room and not kill each other, let alone like work together, is insane. And the amount of, hey, by the way, The Rock is Samoan. Did you know he's Samoan? And he's really quirky and fun. He loves his Tay-Tay. It's like,
Yeah, by the way, we're going to Samoa land, and all of my
Yeah.
Samoa brothers are gonna.
we're
there's
gonna
a
do
chop shop,
Samoa.
and we all have Samoan pickup trucks.
Yeah. My favorite Samoa. We're gonna order Samoan
The power
pizza.
of the island is gonna save us.
I'm gonna wear a grass skirt or whatever the fuck he's wearing.
We're going to fight this army that has the highest of tech weapons with our Samoan pipes
Yeah,
and axes.
and chant.
Yeah,
Did you know that The Rock is Samoan?
I didn't. Thank you for telling me.
You are welcome.
I had no idea.
I fucking So yeah, give me the damn vegetables. Vince comes back after give me the damn vegetables and is acting really fucking weird because that's his character. I hate him.
Yeah.
I hate him so much. So
Yeah,
unlikable.
and then he pulls the little chip out of the radio on the car and gets into a little fight with Dom, and Dom's real mad and angry.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Get out of here!"
Go on, get out of here. Doesn't he welcome him
And then
back
Vincent's
later? He's like,
"I've
there's
been
always
right all along, you fucking dolt." And Dom's
Yeah.
like, "Just leave."
Just
You're
go.
wrong this time again.
Yet again, you are wrong. Oh yeah, that's right. Here it is. I'm just looking at it. Yeah, he's the chip.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's just.
Yeah.
He's right,
and then
but it's a proof that being right is not enough to be correct. Do you know what I mean? Like it just.
yeah,
It
It's-
doesn't matter,
it's not as powerful as family apparently.
dude.
Yeah.
Well, what-
So then
He's a
Brian,
bad family member. Hold on, he's a bad fucking family member though, because like he, in fairness, has left Dom to be arrested like seemingly on like numerous occasions. There's no way. Okay, this is the thing. If you're writing a character in the first movie of Vince where everybody left fucking Dom behind and didn't give a shit, that's not the first time that happened. There's no way that's
Oh,
the first time.
no, because everybody left him behind, didn't give a shit, and then went to his house and had a party
And drank his fucking beer.
at his house.
At
They
his
were
house.
eating his food and drinking his drinks while he was running from the police.
Dude, and that's the thing. that can't be the first fucking time. They're all guilty of it. Don't get me wrong.
Absolutely not the first time.
They're all guilty of it. Like Letty is just as guilty, right? They're all his sister.
They're all just as guilty. His sister
Right.
fucking the police brought him home.
But that's the point, is that Vince as a fucking character, like, okay, Letty's his girlfriend.
Just shitty.
He's way worse because this Vince is like, I've been with you since the 3rd grade, man. We've been through everything together. Remember when we used to get fights on the school? Vince, where were you? Like he because that's the thing. He makes a point.
Vince wasn't at those fights either.
No, he wasn't. He just saw him. He went, "Oh shit, want to watch me play shitty guitar?" Like he puts all of them would be equally bad if not for the fact that Vince makes a point of putting himself right up fucking here and being like, "No, I'm always been here, bro. It's always been us, bro." Well, apparently not. At least all the other ones didn't BS you. So
yeah, just as an aside, I highly recommend at some point, whenever you are feeling up to it, go on YouTube and watch the deleted scenes from Fast and Furious 1.
yeah,
They are hilarious
okay.
in a bad way.
I'm gonna definitely make a point of that right after this because I get so I keep feeling if it's like, you know, when you're explaining to a child maybe what they did wrong, you're like, I'm not mad at you, I'm just trying to tell you, like, this is how it feels like to talk about these movies. It's like, you know how stupid this is, we love them, by the way. You know how stupid this is, we love them, by the way.
Yes.
Like, okay, let's get back. So Vince is a shit character, honestly. Like, so it's not a spoiler, but he gets killed in this movie, right?
He does towards the end.
Thank fucking God.
But after this, so Vin Diesel makes Vince leave again.
Yes.
And then Brian takes the chip that was in the GT40 that just they magically pulled out of the radio, and then they magically have the adapter to plug it into the computer and the software to open it.
Right.
And then they're like, "Oh, this is the drug money chip. This is all of his money and where it is." Because
These are his banking records.
For some reason, that would be in his fucking double-din radio in his GT40.
Yep.
So already you can see why the Reyes Empire is going to crumble, because very poor security.
Yeah, I really enjoy
Nothing,
that.
Yeah,
that they just show up. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
sorry.
like nothing is encrypted. Nothing is written in code that would need to be like decrypted. It's not in a no. It's just it's on his radio in his car. So that's.
Which is why he needs the car back. They stage a whole heist because this dude, I don't know, doesn't understand offshore banking or something.
The keys to his kingdom in his fucking car.
Yeah,
and apparently has no backups anywhere else.
Yep. Pioneer is the key to the castle. So I don't know. I like then there's this whole big chase, and like I think this is the first time that like The Rock and Vin Diesel are like sort of fighting, but then he protects the pretty lady. That's right, I remember this now. And then they have to go their separate ways.
Like the gangs, because like the Rock and the gang of like the Reyes gang trying to collect the car, they show up at like the same time.
Yep.
And they start fighting each other, and like Vin Diesel protects her from the gang.
Yeah.
And then she's like, "Oh my God."
One thing that always is the most aggravating about this whole, to me personally, about this movie is that the like military, like, I don't know what you would call it, like these military guys, right, are like, they're like, "Oh, well, this car's in pieces, well, you know," and he's like, "How are we gonna know what's missing? We put it back together." Excuse me? If I had
in this Brazilian garage with no tools and no lift,
right, and we don't know what they are obviously qualified mechanics who could put together a GT40. I couldn't. If you gave me every tool in the world and a lift, I couldn't put together a GT40, and I sort of know what I'm talking about mildly.
Yeah, like everybody in this universe has their red seal, apparently. Like, they're all qualified mechanics. And on top of that, I just like, there are so many parts that I can remove from my car before it stops functioning as a car.
Yeah.
There are hundreds, probably thousands of things you can remove before the car stops working. So but this is obviously the best team in the world, and they were able to find out immediately that, oh, the chip in the radio is missing.
Yeah, the chip in the radio, which is already like you're telling me if there's like, okay, this is such a fucking nitpick, but it annoys me to no end. So if that chip, which has all his financial records or whatever the fuck, right, that gets removed from the radio, you're telling me the radio ceases to function as a radio? What kind of covert fucking instrument is that?
The radio doesn't even fucking load anymore.
You can't tune your FM radio no more? That's ridiculous. That's terrible.
I do also want to point out that, like, the GT40, even the replicas, don't have radio capability. Like, there's nowhere to put speaker. Like, there's the doors. There's nowhere for speakers to be, and a radio just would not be in that car. Period.
Yeah, like they don't. Like, I see people who I guess like retrofit them in somehow, but like it's a big
but it's like
job.
you literally cannot in that car.
Really?
Like, it is literally a race car through and through. There is nowhere to put speakers.
That doesn't make that's worse. That's worse. It could have been in any car, and you put it in the one without a capability to have a radio.
Would he not put it in a car that, I don't know, he fucking uses more?
Wouldn't he put it in a car?
Like, why wouldn't you put it in the car that you actually take to work?
I don't know. I guess it's...
Anyways.
Whatever.
Obviously, he had millions of dollars and I don't, so maybe I should start putting all of my banking information in my radio, and maybe things will turn out better for me.
I think that makes sense. So the whole team's assembled. They burn down his fucking thing so that he puts all his money in one place. We got that. One thing, I just want to jump straight forward. The RC car I can live. I'm not gonna get that pissed off at it. It's a very basic thing. Me or you could rig that up. It's a stupid plan, but whatever. The scene where they go out in public, the "This is Brazil" scene, infuriating.
Just before we get to that scene, I do just want to point out that, like, if you are checking something into evidence, there's going to be a little bit more verification process than being annoyed at the black man that's checking in the stuff.
We agree, but I'm gonna suspend my disbelief because in the last movie, they were like, "Here's a wanted criminal. Can we put this car in the police lockup?" So they kind of have a track record.
Look. We can continue.
I really enjoy this movie. Let's just positive, right? I really enjoy this movie because I love the team, like the whole gang's here. I really like that. It's fun. I like seeing Han actually do something in this movie. I like seeing Tyrese. He's great. Like, I enjoy all of that. So all of that, I love that. Love the little competition they have to see who can clear the cameras. Great thing. Going out and like intentionally showing up and then getting raided, and then the whole "This is Brazil" shit, infuriating beyond belief.
Oh, horribly infuriating.
Literally the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my fucking life. Also, not for nothing, because we talked about this, there's no way that blue... Is that a GT3? It's
actually not a real GT3.
It's not a real... But is it... In the movie canon, is it?
It's supposed to be a GT3.
It's supposed to be a GT3. Okay.
Yes.
All I'm saying is there's no shot where that limp-wristed fucking loser that's driving it would be, like, not have it immediately taken from him in the streets of Brazil. That's all I'm saying. Not possible.
Yes.
That's more outlandish than the fucking GTR, to me. More outlandish by, like, a country mile.
Also, I mean, in all fairness for outlandishness, there's also no way that a 60s Charger is going to beat that in any sort of race.
Sure. I mean, we agree on that too. So, whatever. You can't win with these people. Like, it's like the whole...
Like, the 67 Charger is... It's basically God in the Fast and Furious universe, because it beats everything.
I think sometimes about this. The way that I think old people treat the Fast and the Furious, who are like muscle car people, are probably the same way they treat those theaters that show porn movies. Like, there's definitely
Yeah.
old dudes watching the 60s Charger beat a GT3 jerking the fuck off in the back of the fucking theater. No questions
Oh
asked.
my god, old people and muscle cars, it's like, oh, they don't fucking make them like they used to.
Yeah,
Can't beat a
good.
fucking 68 Camaro with a 383.
Well, it's the 4-barrel
Came with,
carb.
came with 405 horsepower from the factory. Meanwhile, the way they rated horsepower back then was like wildly illegitimate, and the engine rating of the horsepower by the time it made it to the wheels in those cars, 405 turned into like 273.
I believe that.
And these things weighed like 4,300 pounds. The Charger
Yeah.
weighs, I want to say 5,000 pounds, if not more.
So basically, it's like an M5.
Yeah, they're fucking boats.
It's but Nick, they don't make them like they used to. You don't understand.
They don't make them with drum brakes and power steering where you can't feel anything. And
Yeah, they do that. No, they do that. Electric power steering, right? But is the Super electric power steering? It must be, right?
it is electric. Everything today is electric power
Yeah.
steering. There's like, I think you can count on one hand the number of cars that still use hydraulic power steering.
Fair enough. I was just wondering what your impression of it is compared to the FRS BRZ, which is like honestly some of the best electric steering I've ever.
The Supra steering is definitely number than
Really?
like yeah. So like it's a very quick rack. The car handles very well, but it's a lot more numb than the twins.
So it's probably closer to what I have in my Golf R. Realistically, it's not horrible, but it's
Yeah,
much number.
it's not bad. It's just
Yeah.
I've
It's
had
just
better.
not. Yeah, I've had better. Sorry, back on track. Things that we like. They don't make them like they used to. Anyway, the insistence on the police chase is fun, or they're not the chase. Excuse me, the police like the
When they
scene where
steal
they
the Chargers
drag
and
race.
then
Yeah, the
they're-
Chargers.
I like that he turns on the sirens. Like that's just
Yeah, did I read somewhere that was
we
an
need to
accident?
keep a low profile, guys. So let's steal 4 police cars, do a drag race, and turn on the sirens.
Yeah. I one gripe about we don't have to do like all of this, but one gripe I have about the Chargers in this fucking movie is that they fucking insist on manually sequentially shifting
The automatics.
the automatics. It's
Yeah.
infuriating. Like,
Yeah, I like that. Like in every Fast and Furious movie since the first one, really. Like the answer to winning a race in every single one of them is change gears and put your foot down more.
yeah, well that's
Like all of these cars have infinite amounts of pedal travel.
yeah. Obviously. I mean, like, mine does. It doesn't make it. I've always put my foot all the way down if I was trying to win a race. That's between you and me. That's my secret. But obviously,
Yeah,
for
but
them,
but like when you really want to win the race, then you
Keep
find
going.
a little more pedal
Yeah.
travel.
Put it through the floor.
Just a little bit more.
Just a little bit more. You know what doesn't make any sense as well. It's just this is honestly probably the last thing we could literally jump to the next movie. One is the entire thing about for some reason some of the Chargers are faster than others or slower than others, and then by the end of the fucking race they're all together again. Like it's the same car. Do they know that? Did they know? Did somebody tell them? It's the same car. The fuck are they doing? And it's fun. I like it. I like that fucking Han is there and Tyrese.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. It's completely
And then
ridiculous.
it's like I don't know. Like the rest of the movie after that part is pretty straightforward. Like they break
Yeah.
in and steal the vault or sorry, no. They're gonna go do the heist, and then The Rock shows up, and they have the big fight where somehow
Yeah.
Vin Diesel overpowers The Rock, but we won't get into that
We
again.
don't have to deal with that again. Yeah.
And then they get ambushed, and Vin Diesel saves The Rock, and then they do that whole scene where like he holds out his hand,
Yeah.
and the Rock accepts his help, and now it's implied that there's a large amount of respect there.
Right. And then Vince dies in that scene.
Vince dies,
Thank fucking God. Stay dead.
and then The Rock's like, "I'll ride with you, Toretto," and now he's on the other side of the law apparently because
Well, yeah. because he killed his guys.
That
Reyes killed his guys, which I will say that's mildly convincing. Because The Rock does that character of whatever The Rock does seem like the kind of person who would have like respect for his team.
He does, but then at the same time, it's like he's supposed to be a like very highly trained by the book, like military professional. Like Brian says it earlier in the movie, like he's Old Testament, blood, bullets, wrath of God. He literally says that.
Yeah, he does.
And now he's just like, oh, I'm the bad guy now. I'm gonna help these guys out and steal the money.
Right.
When realistically, he probably would have just, fucked off and thought of a different plan.
I mean, I agree, but I will say that.
But in the it's The Rock and in the universe, so it is what it is.
It's fair. I think watching his team die and also like the proof that these guys are not interested in killing him and their beef is with this guy. I don't know. It is a bit of suspending my disbelief. Don't get me wrong, but I will agree. Probably should have omitted that blood, bullets, wrath of God shit. It does make it difficult to.
Yeah. So. Yeah. So. They steal the vault. They drag the vault through the city with 2 Dodge Chargers.
Yeah.
They use some other Dodge Chargers to ram some police cars, and then they hide the vault in the garbage truck.
Yeah.
And then there's the whole bridge scene, which it's pretty. I don't know. I'm not really here or there about the bridge scene. It exists.
It doesn't make sense because it's 1 Dodge Charger for some reason can pull it, but you needed 2 before. So fuck it, whatever.
Yeah, and now you just need 1 with some nitrous.
Yeah.
And it's doing wheelies now, so okay.
Right, that's his favorite.
So yeah, and then The Rock shows up again, and he's like, "I'm gonna give you 24 hours, and you're not under arrest." And then they're like, "But you gotta leave the vault." And like,
oh, it's a decoy. Yeah. I will say there's one little thing that it's like a real like, I don't mean sexy like it's hot. I mean like it's like a real sexy scene. Like damn, that's pretty cool. Where Han is driving the LFA, but he's got the girl on his lap at the same time. The way it's shot, it's like, okay, that's what, like, oh, I sure wish I was him. I've thought about that scene a lot. Get off me. Do you know what I mean? Like, please don't do that.
Wait, sorry, no, they're not on the Nürburgring. They're on the Autobahn in Germany.
They're on are they in Germany?
Yeah, they're on the Autobahn in Germany.
Oh, yeah, you're right. They're going towards Berlin. Correct.
Yeah. Yeah, and then he's like, oh, Tokyo. We're going to crazy shit going on there.
I just mean,
but yeah, like I saw that scene and it's like, if I'm on unrestricted Autobahn, like as wonderful as the scene is, if I'm doing like 160 miles an hour on the Autobahn or whatever, like get off of me. You sit.
Yeah, you sit over there. No, I fully agree because I will in the way it like visually looks great. We drive a lot. Like that's what we like to do. Get off me. What do you get the fuck off me?
Anybody who thinks that, anybody who's like, no, you guys are, I can't say it on the podcast.
No, we're gay for that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you've never done more than the speed limit apparently, because driving faster, a lot faster than the rest of traffic around you can be fucking terrifying, and you need to focus.
Driving,
because that's what unrestricted Autobahn is like. It's like the left lane is the passing lane, and you might be doing like 160 miles an hour, and the car in the right lane is doing like 90. That's a big difference.
Yeah, it's not even like you either you lack like a fully formed like frontal cortex to process that like that is a terrible idea and that you should focus, like you have no self-preservation whatsoever, or you've genuinely never done over the speed limit like by a good margin. This is not like a fucking pissing contest. This is, that shit's scary, like we take it seriously. Like we don't drive Infinities, dude. We don't drive them. We don't have no lack of fucking self-preservation. So I don't know, just me. I don't know, it's not bad. I like that movie a lot. I like Fast 5 a lot.
I honestly like Fast 5 is an enjoyable movie. I like the banter. The post-credit scene is pretty decent. Dom's Charger would never beat that GTR in a race, but it is what it is.
Not in a million years.
Or sorry, his Challenger.
Yeah, Challenger SRT.
Yeah.
Would not.
Yeah,
Not even. Yeah.
and then there's the one after credit scene where like Hobbs is at the office and
The lady
the
from the second
fucking
movie.
girl from Too Fast Too Furious
Yeah.
shows up, and it's like she's never been in the universe since.
Yeah, it's like they maybe were gonna do it and then they
Yeah, and
backed
then
out.
they just like pretended it didn't happen after that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I thought that was kind of weird, but it all in all good movie.
No, it's definitely kind of weird. Yeah, definitely. I agree. Good movie. I mean, I would definitely force people to sit through it. I will say that.
Yeah.
It's also
Yeah.
produced some really good music. I will say. I think the fifth one is the one with the Don Omar song, right? That I hear at like weddings and stuff now.
Yes, it
Great
is.
song. Good song to come out of this
Good song.
movie. Yeah.
Good song.
Good vibes, as the kids say. That's Fast Five.
Indeed.
I'm for it. I will say, I have to suspend my disbelief quite a bit, and fucking so glad that Vince got shot like a dog. I'm so glad that guy's dead. And then they give
They give
his widow a bunch of
lots of
money.
money.
Yeah, which fair enough. I would be happy to chip in on that just to make sure that dude stays dead. I really would not be surprised if they bring him back. Like that's
Hey,
my fear.
At this point, it's pretty obvious that nobody dies in the Fast and Furious universe.
No,
So.
it's just they don't at all. All right, we could go to 6.
All right.
All right, so 6
we
is
got Fast and Furious 6.
yeah. So
All
Letty's
roads
back.
lead to this. Oh boy. Yes,
Uh,
Letty's back.
Yeah.
Dom's living in somewhere in the tropics with the police officer from the 5th movie, the lady one.
I want to say, hold on. I want to say the opening credits for this, which I think is the song is "We Own It." Great opening credits. Really cool, like highlight reel.
Yeah,
really good. See, we like these movies. Really enjoyable. Would love. I wish that when I died, or anybody dies, you get like a highlight reel, like an end of the game highlight reel, and it's set to "We Own It." Would love it.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, we don't live in the diesel dimension, so.
No, we do not.
I
For
dream.
better or worse. So what do we got here? So yeah, so Dom's living in the tropics with the police officer from the last movie, and I like that he just like he rolls out of being in bed with her, goes on to his balcony, and there he's just got an engine that he's building on the balcony.
Yeah, listen. Okay, hold on. Be honest. Is that not the dream, right? You know, like Nick, you buy a house in the tropics.
A little bit, I guess.
You know, you roll out of bed after a good night, and there's
just there's your engine that you're building right
now.
there.
You're having a good morning, you know.
I'm just like it's like
it's too on the nose, man.
At the same time, it's like I know what like. Do you know how many tools you need to assemble an engine? Like
yeah, a lot.
That balcony wouldn't be fucking walkable.
No. It's definitely like the most plot bullshit. Like, I also like you
just go. Also, like, I'm sorry, but leaving an engine block exposed to the elements, especially in a humid tropical area, like that shit's just gonna rust.
Yeah, no, it's a terrible idea. I also find it hilarious that like they've propped it on its side because obviously you can't set it on the fucking oil pan because it's a fucking 900-pound behemoth. But like all the pulleys and stuff, it literally looks like, if you know anything about the way it should be in this condition that we arrived here, it should be on an engine like hoist or not, or like a fucking
like an engine stand.
An engine stand. It doesn't make sense.
And then so he's sorry.
No, the lady comes out and Elena. And she's like, if that was my husband, I would have gone. I would go to him. Like, so it's like she's like, it's cool. You're dead. Like
yeah, go find your dead ex. Go ahead.
Yeah,
that's
go
fine.
ahead. Have fun.
I get it. No
I don't
worries.
know. I don't want to be rude, but I'm not in that position, so I don't know.
Once you start getting to the 6th movie, like you really are to have to start suspending your belief.
Yeah, it really
like. It's a slippery slope, and it goes down fast after Fast 5. So yeah, like, so she's like, yeah, go find your dead ex, and Dom's like, all right, I'll do it, and we're all gonna get, I forget what the word is. their records are going to be clean.
Yeah, they're gonna yeah.
All of their crimes are going to no longer
Anything
exist.
you've ever done, all the murder, all the whatever. Can I
Yep,
just is
not a
he
problem.
when they cut to Ludacris, is he driving a Ferrari like the track car?
FXX, yes.
Right. Don't they like not let you take that home? Isn't that their whole thing? They'll deliver it to a track?
Yes, they're literally not road legal.
Right.
Ferrari holds the car for you. You tell them what track you're going to and
And it
that
shows
you
up.
want to use it, and then they bring it there with their mechanics and engineers. You do your track day, you go home, and they bring the car back.
So there's no world where this car is on the road. Like Ferrari will not let it go. Like they will
No,
no. Stupid scene.
no.
It's also it doesn't make
Also,
sense.
like, I don't know how you're driving that around on the roads that are there where he is. Like,
Yeah, wherever the fuck he is. Oh,
Just-
it's Spain
anyways.
somewhere. Yeah.
yeah, somewhere he's somewhere where the roads are not Ferrari FXX
Yeah,
compatible.
it's not a track, so that's basically it.
It's not even a smooth road.
No, it's like a half
It's
cobbled
like
street.
cobblestone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
So, yeah. So like he's there,
Yeah.
and then he the ATM machine's spitting money out for everybody. And then Roman's on his fucking private plane, which is like
Yeah.
Air Roman or some shit.
The dumbest shit. Yeah, it's
Yeah, and then they all get a phone call, and he's like, "Oh, we got to turn the plane around," and he gives all the hoes vouchers to the buffet, which I
Yeah.
honestly thought was hilarious.
that's fucking hilarious. I love that shit. If that was not in that scene, it would have been stupid as hell. But I love that. That's so good. Also, yeah, Mia and Brian have a kid now. I forgot about that. I'm fine with it.
Yeah,
That's
they got-
whatever.
they got Jack.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's another thing. So,
They go-
yeah, they arrive in fucking I have no idea where
The
London.
UK. Yeah, like somewhere
Yeah.
in the UK.
Yeah, they're in the UK, and then there's like the whole crew run by Owen Shaw.
Yeah.
Um
I really
and
they do the whole chase, right? With the flip cars. Flip
Yeah.
cars are so fucking cool, man.
yeah, they do the whole chase with the flip cars, and oh my god, they do the so they have the flip cars, which I agree, like those are fucking awesome. I love the flip cars. And then their crew is in like the BMW 5 Series,
Yeah.
and like there's one specific part of the chase where where they say like what engine the BMW 5 Series has in it, and they use the like the engine specs from the M5, but it's the M5 from the generation after that one.
What?
Yeah. So
only
they
you would
say
pick up on
it
that.
has like I know only I would pick up on that, but it really bothered me because it's like that generation M5 should have been the one with the V10. It's like one of the most
Yeah.
iconic
No, 100%.
engine noises.
Yeah.
Like, at least do your homework on that. Like, come on.
They're
And
not
I know
M5s.
most people don't care.
They're not even
I
M5s.
know they're not M5s, but they're fucking pretending they are. So like at least get the generation right.
So it not only are they not M5s, they're not even it's not even the correct spec of M5. Yeah, no, I love that M5. That's my favorite
wrong
generation of M5. I wouldn't own one, to be clear. Absolute mess to own.
Not as
but
my only car.
No. It would definitely be a car
so-
that yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, they did that. And then the flip cars, those were all LS powered. They weren't like exotic Formula 1 engine powered. They were all LS powered.
Yeah.
With with Ferrari noises dubbed over.
Yep.
So yeah, like they do that whole chase scene. And then what happens after that? Oh my god.
This is not a car thing, but like when the sniper is firing on them, and he's firing like the 50 cal, like whatever Barrett 50 cal, like it's
Yeah, like
not kicking. Like it'll take your arm off if you shoot it like wrong, and this dude's just like bop, 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 like not even happening, man. It's just, I'm not a gun person, but like come on.
Aren't they like shooting back at him with like pistols or something?
Yes.
Like this guy's on the roof of a building and they're
Yeah.
hoping for a miracle, I guess.
Pretty much. I really can't stand it. Like I just oh yeah, Letty's Jensen Interceptor, right? That's what it is in this
I
scene.
love that car.
I hate that fucking car. Okay, okay, good. We have a disagreement. Why does it look like
Love
that?
that car.
Why does it look like that?
It was the first production, uh I believe anyways. I believe it was the first production all-wheel drive like regular car. Like before
Right,
that, you got all-wheel drive if you had a truck, but now that was in a car and it was like holy shit.
right. I understand that. It looks like a baby hearse. I fucking hate that hatch.
I like them.
Okay.
I've seen exactly one in person in my life. And I
Really?
remember because I took a picture of it and I posted it on Reddit and I got like a ton of upvotes on that post.
You got his Reddit updates from that one. Thanks, Reddit.
Yeah,
Thanks for
because
the
everyone
gold coins,
everyone
stranger.
recognized it and recognized that it was. Do you remember the Top Gear episode where they did like the fake opening scene for the Interceptors?
Yep.
Everyone referenced that in the Reddit post.
That makes complete sense.
Felt really good about that one, but I
I
anyways
mean,
agree
it's a
to
good
disagree.
spot.
I like the Jensen Interceptor.
That's fine. I think it's ugly. I think it's genuinely ugly. I don't get
That's
it.
okay.
That's fine. It's just a matter of opinion. I really like the vending machine scene with I think that's a good gag where Hobbs shoots the
That's how you.
vending
This is how
machine.
you stay rich when he's asking everyone for money, and then Hobbs shoots them. That's a
Yeah.
good scene. I like
It's a
that
good
scene.
I
That's a funny
love
one.
Roman being cheap as like a running gag. I
You know what? Like he is a really good comic relief character.
fantastic comic relief character.
Yeah,
And also
I
mhm.
think him and Ludacris play the comedy role in this series very well.
This movie also solidifies for some reason that Ludacris is now tech guy,
Yeah,
right?
he's just anything and everything about tech he knows apparently.
Yeah, don't know how that came about. He was using a megaphone in Too Fast, Too Furious. I guess that's how they're like that's tech guy right there. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I do like the auction scene. We're skipping ahead a little bit, but like I do like the auction scene because it. I don't think any of that makes sense because the pricing of the car, based on what they said they stole and the price of the vehicles, I've done this math 100 times. He does not have the money to purchase all of those vehicles. He just doesn't.
No, I've done that math as well.
Unless he's like, oh, I'm gonna send them the bill, right? Because I can't afford this myself. Also,
Yeah.
I get it. They want at the very least, this is respectful. This is respectful. At the very least, finally they have a reason to have 60s muscle cars because the computer thing, right? Finally, there's a reason.
Okay, yeah, I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
It's not a good fucking reason to be clear, but like finally there is some plot point as to why Vin Diesel is gonna drive a fucking Daytona. So
I just like that wherever he goes in the world, there's a charger somewhere for him.
yeah, anywhere he
They'll
goes,
always find it.
that's what
Anywhere
it's
he
important about
goes.
family. Yeah. I mean, it's fair enough. To me personally, I just at least that this time they have a reasonable excuse. It's well
Yeah.
written, like as well written as it can be. It's not great, but it's well written for what it is. So
Yeah.
that's
So
fine.
yeah, they buy the cars from the auction. Letty finds out she has amnesia, and Owen just fucking pulled her out of a hospital and said, "You work for me now." And she was like, "Okay."
Oh yeah. You like that scene where Vin Diesel does Vin Dieseling in the pawn shop?
Yes.
That was he's just the guy's like, get out of here, you wanker, and he just pulls him through the fucking window. Just I don't know. It's just like, look, British people are pussies.
If it was real London, he would have been stabbed
75 times before he even walked in the
multiple times.
door. So
Yes.
he would have stabbed on the
He would have, like,
street.
immediately after getting off the plane in the London, he just would have been stabbed.
Yeah. Just that's security. It's a 50-50. Sometimes you get stabbed, sometimes
Yeah.
they pat you down.
Yeah.
I like the train fight. Like the where
Yeah.
Letty and the one bitch, I don't remember what her name
The
is.
subway scene fight. I don't
The
remember
subway
her
scene.
name either, but
Yeah,
I know who you're talking about.
And I like
Good fight.
Tyrese and Han getting their ass kicked. Sorry.
Also
yeah.
good because they do the comic relief thing really well.
Yeah,
They have a good dynamic.
they really do.
They should
I-
host Top Gear.
Dude, Pretty much anybody could have hosted Top Gear better than fucking what they put in.
Yeah.
No, it's good. Just trying to get through because, like, honestly, most of this movie is pretty good until we get near the end.
Like it's a good watch. It's like you really have to suspend belief, but it's a good watch. It's decent.
Yeah.
So yeah, they do that. They have the subway fight.
They have the Brian goes to jail.
Yeah, Brian goes to jail. Dom and Letty do the street race.
Which one do you want to tackle first? Because I have problems with both.
Okay, you know what? You do Brian goes to jail.
Okay, fine. Brian goes to jail. There's no planet where that guy from Too Fast, Too Furious would have helped Brian. No. Because the guy that checks him in is the same guy he punches in the face from Too Fast, Too Furious. It's the same cop
Are you
guy.
thinking about Fast and Furious 4?
Sorry, I am thinking about Fast and Furious 4. Excuse me.
Okay, yes.
Yes. It's the same guy. There's no planet where that guy would help him.
He does it again.
Yeah, he does it again to make it convict. Like,
does it again,
which is funny. But he wouldn't have helped him. He wouldn't have helped him. Not a chance.
No,
not a chance.
No. In fact, he probably would have been like, "Hey, well, actually, he's already on his way to jail. He doesn't have to tell him he's going to jail. He's just going to jail." But anyways, Brian lands in jail.
Yeah,
and then he finds the drug dealer from Fast. Just a big reunion of Fast and Furious 4 cast in this movie.
Yeah, Braga. I don't like that Braga's like, "You're dead anyway. I will tell you my master plan." What? That is so fucking. Come on, dude. Are you serious? Who wrote that? What intern wrote that? He literally says, "Who cares? You're a dead man anyway. I'll tell you." What?
Everybody who is a villain in this universe, there's a reason that their empire has crumbled. Horrible security, and nobody keeps their mouth shut.
Nobody shuts their fucking mouth. Like, I think Shaw...
You're a dead man anyway, so here, I'll make you a diagram.
Yeah. Shaw, like, also apparently, like, Shaw is, like, Braga's, like, basically taught Braga everything he knows or something, basically, like, is the exposition. Shaw is younger than Braga, like, substantially. So,
yeah,
also,
there's quite the age gap there.
Yeah, so that doesn't I'm sorry, but no. Do you want to take
tracking.
Do you want to take this? Sorry, but before we do This Is London, the complimentary NOS bottle that shows up while Brian is going to prison with the stupid grappling hook. He's like, Lucas is like, I upgraded it, and he put a bottle of NOS on that guy's grappling hook, the guy that they visited, to find out where the flip cars were.
Yeah.
Why do they insist with the fucking NOS?
It doesn't even work that way.
No, it doesn't.
It's an no, nitrous is an oxidizer. It's not just a fucking you open the valve and everything, whatever you're doing with it makes it go faster.
Like, I guess it's a compressed gas technically, but it wouldn't be any better than compressed air in that, application.
Like, the only way that it would really help is if the nitrous was going through something that was combusting, like some sort of engine or combustion event, and it helped the combustion event, and then sure, then the grappling hook can go farther. Why not? But they were just like, no, look, you open the NOS and the grappling hook goes. It's much stronger than it was without the NOS.
That's the way it works. Do you want to take This Is London?
Oh fuck. Okay, so he shows up to this London street race where there's cars on two wheels, because that apparently is the easiest thing in the world to do.
Not just one, multiple
cars on two wheels.
And they're rolling in front of, I want to say, other cars that if they fell onto, it's like millions of dollars in losses.
Yes, like there's millions of dollars of cars here and potential damage, and these cars are on two wheels, absolutely destroying their wheels and their wheel bearings.
Literally Brampton spec.
Literally Brampton spec. The police in London apparently don't shut any of these unsanctioned meets down where there's cars on two wheels ever. Yeah. Because they're nowhere in sight. And then Dom shows up to fix Letty's amnesia with a street race in
Right.
his Daytona, recently acquired. So that happens, and then Rita Ora just happens to be at the London street races. Because why not?
She looks like a
So
crackhead. Like I mean that like, I know now on Twitter and on the internet you must do in brackets like lovingly or insultingly. This bitch looks like a crackhead. She looks cracked
might
the
be.
fuck
Who knows?
out. Who knows?
So she flags them off, and they race all through the streets of London. And the race ends at like a pier or a dock or some shit, like just the most random place for a race to end. And then suddenly Dom's pointing out all of her scars and like, this is how you got this. This is how you got that.
You guys, I got one time I accidentally stabbed you with a kitchen knife and stuff like that. Like it just
Yeah, and it's like, man, this sounds like not a great relationship. But anyways,
you were swimming and then you caught on a coral reef or whatever the fuck he said.
Oh.
Something insane like that. Like it's literally
something-
something like that.
Yeah. But then it's like, oh shit, here's fucking Shaw. He's got a sniper, and then
But
there's
I got a
fucking
sniper
Hobbs. He's
too,
got a bigger
wow.
one.
Yeah. Cool.
So whatever, they do that whole scene, and it's just a classic fucking Toretto scene.
Yeah.
And then oh my god, where do they go from?
They go
from there.
somewhere in.
Oh, they go to that army base.
Yeah, but where is the army base? Is it? It's not in the UK, is it? It's like.
No, it's in like Spain.
Yeah.
It's in like Spain. They go to this Spanish army base where Shaw's crew like hijacks like a military convoy. Oh, sorry, no. This is before the army base scenes. So like the army base stuff is towards the end of the movie with the airplane, and we'll get to that. So before that, they do go to Spain, but first they attack that military convoy on the highway. And this is where like all the old auction cars come into play. Where like, for what it's worth, I love my favorite car from that whole movie and scene is Brian's Ford Escort.
100%.
Best car in that whole movie. But they do that whole highway chase scene with the tank, and I'm pretty sure this is where like they hook something onto the car that falls under the bridge, and it like anchors and pulls the fucking tank down, whatever stupid shit.
It's so dumb. This is the one where he jumps the fucking car.
Yes.
Or like to catch Letty.
Yeah. So yeah, Dom's in his Daytona, and Letty's about to be fucking isekai'd, and and Dom jams the gas pedal with something, hopes and dreams for all we know, and starts climbing out of the car as he steers it towards the center barrier so that he can launch himself to the other side of the highway and catch Letty and break their fall with a car windshield.
Yep. Which is perfectly timed. That's amazing. Wait, he doesn't wedge anything. He just like crashes it.
Like not only is it perfectly timed and executed perfectly, but they just get up like there's no damage or glass cuts or nothing. They just this is fine.
Sometimes I sleep wrong and I can't stand. And he just went through like
I've been dealing with that for the last like week and a half. Like I slept wrong like fucking 2 Saturdays ago, and my leg hurts if I sit down for too long.
How do you think you'd feel if you went through a window?
I'd fine, apparently, if you go by Fast and Furious logic.
So one of theirs, so then they capture them. One of them is a traitor. That bitch changes places because they have, Mia, right? They have her hostage with the baby. Oh, no, the baby gets away. Sorry. So then they let Shaw go.
They just have Mia hostage.
Yeah. No, I'm not mad at that. That's completely reasonable and expected. To be honest, it's bad planning on the part of leaving them behind. Don't know why they thought. Yeah, this one lady who's been in the movie for a little bit, she's gonna take care of this whole thing. Whatever, Elena, whatever her name is.
Yeah.
That was stupid. That was really dumb. Why did this? Everything has Sparko seats. It's fucking infuriating. I get really tired of it. What is this vehicle that they're in that has Sparkos? in the front and the back. What is it? The Dodge fucking Chargers? They've put 4 buckets in a Dodge Charger.
What scene are you talking about?
Okay, so when they're just getting onto the tarmac, right? Before the plane actually shows up, right? There's a scene
Okay.
where, like, seemingly they're like all chasing Shaw and his crew, and there is a scene where they're in Dodge Chargers, and there are Sparkos in the front and the back. So Letty's in the back, Dom and Brian are in the front, and they're all
Amazing.
sitting in individual Sparkos. It's I'm not gonna lie to you, I've suspended my disbelief. This is where it ends, Nick. This is where it ends. I have had it with the aftermarket seats. Dude, most seats are fine as they fucking are. You don't need aftermarket seats.
I understand why because they put the aftermarket seats in for the stunts because they can put harnesses through them.
Sure.
But like I feel like you could edit around that.
You should be able to, because I'm 99% sure they're not doing their own stunts.
No, they aren't.
So what the hell? Anyway, they take down a plane apparently. So the army base scene. So there's the plane on the runway. It's the world's longest runway. It's about 37.8 miles long. I think somebody actually did the math on that. Really?
Yeah, and they pull down, and I know it's an Antonov airplane just by how it looks, but I don't think it's the biggest Antonov. It's the world's. It's the baby Antonov, but it's still like the world's second biggest cargo plane.
That's still too much plane.
This is a plane that they use to carry like massive amounts of military equipment. And like this is a plane that can haul multiple tons of payload. And they pull it down back to the runway and prevent it from taking off with an Alfa Romeo Mito.
And a Charger.
Some grappling hooks, a Charger, and some
and
Jeeps.
Like one Jeep. Yeah. It's like the kind of payload this plane can carry would be like about 30 cars. Like fully loaded. Also, I don't think it's ever established. We know why the Alfa Romeo Mito is in the movie, because they paid a bunch of money. But why is it on that plane?
I don't know. I have no idea. The Antonov AN-124. That's the plane. I just looked it up.
Okay.
It has a cargo capacity of 150 tons.
Yeah. So that's at least 75 vehicles, let's say. Minimum.
Yeah.
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 I know. I actually don't know. I can't. I got nothing else. It's stupid. It's really fucking stupid.
Yeah. So yeah, they pull the plane out of the sky.
Mm-hmm.
And then Giselle dies.
Fucking dies.
In this scene.
Pretty badass death, like shooting as you go.
Yeah, she jumps off the plane and fucking cranks a couple shots off and like
saves Han.
Sure.
Yeah,
good old action movie death. I'm here for it.
Good one.
And then what happens? Like fucking Owen Shaw gets tossed off. He's all fucked up.
Yeah.
And then Dom still got his Charger. He drives it right out of the exploding plane.
Yeah. Cause fuck you. Why not?
Like just good old fucking badass doesn't look at the explosion scene. And then everybody thinks he's dead.
Yeah. But it's okay because he's alive.
Yeah, it's okay because he's alive because he was in his Charger.
And then to add insult to injury, who is it that goes, "Where's Giselle?" And then Han's like, "Ah!" Like she's dead. He's like sad.
I honestly, was that Mia who said that? I think
it might have been Mia. Yeah, it was Mia.
Yeah. So, anyways, they do that, and then like then it's the barbecue scene.
The obligatory barbecue. Yeah.
Yeah, the obligatory barbecue scene where fucking The Rock comes in and he's like, "I got your pardons," and fucking Roman's like, "Why do I smell baby oil?" and something about his big ass forehead, which I think that's pretty funny because apparently that was entirely unscripted.
So yeah, I do
And
like that scene a lot.
Ludacris's reaction where he like spits out the beer, that's a real reaction.
It's really fun. It's one of my favorite like unintentional scenes. I just want to roll back for 1 second. I didn't realize I'm just watching like just having it like running on Prime as we we look at this. They have a thing where they'll show you things that are I guess like goofs. So it's like factual error like pops up on the screen. The Alfa Romeo Giulietta, which Brian is chasing the aircraft and is unable to reach speeds of 150 miles an hour. However, it shows speeds higher than that in the chase.
Yes.
Factual error. The longest paved runway in Spain is this. Like it doesn't make any sense. Love it.
Yes.
Big fan
Somebody
of that.
did. I want to see if I can find the graphic. Because like somebody made an actual graphic of like how long that runway would have to be,
Yeah.
and 25 miles.
25 miles. That doesn't exist on Earth. A 25-mile straight.
No, like
Like
some of the longest runways in the world, I think, are at like area like Groom Lake, Area 51 in Nevada, and those are not even 25 miles long.
yeah. Yeah,
Like
that's
like to put it into perspective, 25 miles is essentially like from where I live to Toronto.
yeah, no, yeah. It in a straight line. Like it's a crazy as the crow flies
Yes.
as they say. Like it's a
Yes.
crazy it
Like it's a long enough distance to where the runway would be like you would be able to see the curvature of the earth
yeah. I just
standing at one end of it.
I can't. It's like it's stupid. I just. It's been like beaten to death. It's like we wanted to like avoid like doing the stuff that everybody talks about, but like it is infuriating how like these movies treat you like an idiot. Like they really do.
Yeah. Like I understand the audience that they're being made for, but at the same time it's like Jesus fucking Christ, some of this shit is just
No,
insane.
fully. I will say there's one gripe. So a car gripe at the end. When they go to the barbecue scene, there's a Gallardo. It's a like first generation Gallardo because it's got the tail lights that go kind of up on top of the car, like they curve around. They're not just the from the back.
Yeah.
And they've got like this is like I don't know. It's just like this looks like the world's worst Gallardo because like you every time I see a car with tinted taillights, I just immediately know the owner is a piece of shit. You know what I mean? Like I'm not saying they do beat their wife. I'm just saying if I was told they beat their wife, I wouldn't be surprised.
That Gallardo minus the tinted taillights is basically a factory Superleggera.
Yeah. Oh, is it?
Yes.
Fair enough. I still think if you tint your rear taillights, you're a piece of shit.
Yep. I think the GTR in the driveway in that scene is much more egregious, but
You think?
yeah.
Because it's got so it's got like what appears to be some sort of like Liberty Walk.
If you have a Liberty Walk kit, you can fuck off.
Yeah. I just think wide bodies are cringe, man. I don't know. I used to think they were cool.
I think there is nothing more just egregious and unnecessary than a Liberty Walk kit. Like I put Liberty Walk up there with like Mansory kits. They're just not nice.
Yeah. What's if you're looking at it like what is on the trunk? They're like 4 like eyelets of some description. Like I don't know what to make of that. Like they look like they've got like little dangly. At first I thought it was part of the wing, but I don't know what that is.
I feel like those are like the mounting holes for the factory wing.
Is it?
Well, look at where they are on the trunk and then look at where the factory wing mounts on a stock GTR.
Right.
That's what it looks like to me.
They've got like but they've got like little like hooks or something. Like yeah, I don't know. But doesn't the factory wing on a GTR mount in the middle as well?
They didn't always.
Oh yeah, you're right. I don't know. I mean, I agree. I just think wide body kits are really cringe.
Yeah, I don't know. Like there are some that are nice. Like you can do a nice wide body, but there's some that are just like fuck off wide bodies. Like Liberty Walk and Rocket Bunny can fuck off.
I just don't like. I have this and you can tell me if I'm off base, obviously, but like I just have this opinion now as a grown man with the brain that if you have like the money to do a wide body kit in general, which we've talked about at length, you should put into the performance of the vehicle, and then at a certain point where you arrive where I'm going to do a wide body kit after you've done everything else, you should buy a better vehicle instead of doing that. Unless you have like
yeah, like my thing with wide bodies is like the car has to be able to write the checks that the style is, or the car, like the performance of the vehicle has to be able to cash the checks that the body of the car is writing.
yeah.
But it's like everybody knows how capable a GTR is in stock body form and stock trim.
Yeah.
Like there's no need for the wide body on the GTR, and it's not even that good looking of a wide body.
No, it's not.
All the Rocket Bunny kits that everybody puts on their fucking BRZs and GT86s, and meanwhile they have like an intake and maybe headers and a tune, and it's like, really?
Yeah, no,
Like you need all this tire clearance for 180 wheel horsepower? Like,
I think you're being very generous with 180. I think they
yeah,
stock dyno. That's like
most
full
most
bolt on.
Yeah, full bolt-ons is like 180, 190-ish. Stock dyno is like 160 wheel.
I swear I've seen 148 or something. So like, yeah.
Yeah, probably. Like they're not powerful cars, and it's
No,
like
they're not.
like you really need all this extra tire, really? You know, if your car's fully built and you're making like, 350, 400, 450, whatever, then yeah, sure, I get it.
But even then, you
But
don't need
even
that
then,
much.
like Rocket Bunny isn't like it's not track aero.
No.
If you want functional aero, you'd get like the Varus kit or something, because that's actually functional as a wide body. Like it's actual aero. The Rocket Bunny kit and Liberty Walk kits are just like, oh look, my fenders are now 1.5 feet wider.
Yeah. But that
Ooh.
doesn't it but that's the thing, right? Is like, okay, regardless, you need X amount of dollars to execute either kit, right? They're going to be expensive.
Yes.
It's just not a good use of money in any way, shape, or form. And the amount of clout, if we can quantify clout, if I could put clout in a bottle, as they say, there's not enough of a return on that investment in my mind. That's just me. Doesn't make sense.
Platforms that most people are wide bodying anyways.
Yeah. So, I don't know. That's just me. Anyway, then they retcon Han's death and make it that Jason Statham is Shaw's brother and he killed Han.
Yeah, and then Jason Statham calls Dom and does a good old Jason Statham one-liner. And
yeah, do you have any any opinions about that?
It's like it's classic Jason Statham. I enjoy a lot of his movies, but he just kind of plays the same character in every single one.
Jason Statham. Yeah.
Yeah, he's just Jason Statham, but like I respect it. I like a lot of his movies.
How do you feel that we've moved on to
one that
mm-hmm.
I was gonna say probably one that a lot of people may not know, but I really like the movie Cellular with Jason Statham and Chris Evans.
Not familiar.
It's like an early 2000s movie. It was actually probably one of the first, or maybe not one of the first ones he did, but definitely one of his earlier roles.
Is this before or after the first Transporter?
Let's see. Transporter 1 was 2002. Cellular was 2004, so it was after the first Transporter.
Right. Okay. I mean, I haven't seen it, but I do like that era of Jason Statham for sure. So I will check it out. Good recommendation, Cellular. I want to jump straight into this about the seventh movie. How do you feel? This is going to be a big section. Race wars becoming a legitimate event. I'm not going to lie to you. This might surprise people. I kind of like it. Because a lot of events start that way.
Yeah, like I don't have a problem with it becoming a legitimate event, but I also feel like race wars in the first movie was a legitimate event. Like they were
Right.
racing at the, what was at one point an army base,
Right.
and like they had vendors there and like people checking people. Like
Yeah, that's fair. You
it's
know what? You
not.
got a
It
point.
wasn't the type of event that people just fucking showed up and said, "All right, we're gonna start racing on the runway here." Like it was planned and fairly well organized and executed.
It was definitely planned. I'm just saying that like now it seems like they've got tons of sponsors and like this. It's
Yeah,
like it almost has a
I'm
Red
not mad
Bull
at it. I'm
vibe
okay
to it.
with it. I'm
One
okay
thing I
with it.
am annoyed at is that when they're pulling in and they're sort of like doing a montage of everything that's happening, 95% of what's on the screen, I don't have that much of a problem with it, but it's just like women's asses and tits, which is fine, but it keeps cutting
Yeah,
back to Letty being like, oh, like she's really excited about it. And it's like, it just doesn't, I don't know, man. It
you
just,
know, you know what kind of vibe it gives.
mm,
Like the rate like that scene of race wars being legitimate. It reminded me a lot of Need for Speed Pro Street.
yeah,
Do
yeah.
you remember that game? Did you ever
I'm
play it?
I'm teetering on remember. I think I did play it, but I'm having a difficult time, with my memory on that one. Explain it
Yeah, it
as if
was
I
like
don't.
it was. I think Pro Street was like right after Carbon,
Right.
and it was like the whole sort of like Need for Speed Underground and like street racing kind of games were kind of going away, and then they made Pro Street, and it was like, well, it's still got all the cars from the street racing games, but now it's a sanctioned event.
Oh, right. Okay.
There's
Yeah,
an
I do recall
announcer
that.
and sponsors, and all the courses are closed, but they're still on the roads. They're just closed.
Right.
I got
I
that sort of vibe.
I can see that. I can definitely see
Or
that.
like Forza Horizon.
Yeah. Okay. Forza Horizon. Yes. Yeah. I do see what you're saying. Is this
Yeah.
the scene where for some reason Dom knows immediately that this dude is gonna blow his engine when they start racing? Yeah,
Um.
he is.
Yeah.
He's gonna blow his. How did you fucking know that? Are you the fucking engine
Diesel
whisperer?
Dimension.
It's the
He's in
diesel
the Diesel
dimension.
Dimension.
There's no reason for him to know that. Like, there's genuinely no fucking reason. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever. Sure.
Yeah. Like they do that whole scene, and then Letty's like, "I'm leaving because I don't get it,"
Yeah. I'm
and then
confused. I'm dead.
she
This is
just
me.
leaves.
And
And she
then,
just fucking leaves.
yeah. And then Dom comes with a fucking hammer to smash her tombstone. And he's like, I'm leaving. He's like, okay, I don't know. I just came in with a hammer. I'm very dramatic. And then fucking
Like
Jason Statham beats up The Rock.
like graveyards are tended places.
Yeah, they're not like.
It's not the type of place that you can just show up with a hammer and start vandalizing things.
No, I don't think people realize that. I think people genuinely think you could just go into a graveyard. No, it doesn't work that way.
Also, like how fucking incredibly disrespectful to every other plot in the graveyard. like, like
Yeah.
I don't know about anyone else, but like I kind of draw the line there. Like I would never go to a graveyard to do something
To
disrespectful.
do vandalism, you wouldn't do vandalism. You know what's
Vandalism, like-
funny is that I think
Like,
99% of
if you
teens
wanna
don't
go
either.
spray paint the side of a grocery store, like screw it, I'm down. We'll go spray
Yeah.
paint the side of a grocery store. Like, you want to go knock over some mailboxes? I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm not going to a graveyard with you to smash graves.
I agree with you because teenagers who go to graveyards are generally speaking just hanging out. Like it's very rare they do anything crazy. And teenagers are the worst people on the planet. They drive Infinities. So how is it that Vin Diesel, of all people who talks about family, doesn't understand that Mima deserves her final resting place? How does he not know that?
Right?
But it's not his family, I guess.
No, like all the other plots don't exist apparently. We're just here to smash Letty's gravestone.
Why does he always look confused? Like in this movie, like she's kissing him like I need to go, and he's like, well, I don't know what's happening. Don't smash the
Oh,
grave.
God.
I can't with him. He looks like a fucking stupid, like a puppy that somebody kicked. But you know what? I don't feel bad for him. I hope more people die on him. Oh my god.
Oh my god. So yeah, they do that, and then Jason Statham just fucking nukes the hospital that his brother's in.
Yeah.
to find his brother in the hospital. Just
No,
absolutely fucking destroys the place.
that's really early on. But then Jason Statham is like beating up The Rock, which Jason Statham is not that tall. He's also not that beefy.
He's not that, and like I fully understand and fully respect like martial arts versus just sort of like the big heavy strong man with a heavy hit. I don't really feel like Jason Statham would be able to get one over on.
No, but even people who are actually martial artists, like I've talked to people who do like MMA, not like super competitively, but that's their thing. And like reach is an enormous thing with fighting. Like the length of your arm.
Like any form of fighting reaches a big thing. It's so important.
Like, I have difficulty with this scene. Like, I'm okay with him getting like it's just there are ways that this could have been written where he got the jump on The Rock and it's more convincing, and they didn't do that. And it's like kind of sort of the same vibe.
I respect that he could absolutely land a couple blows. I just feel like The Rock would be able to, because he's got more reach, just fucking pick him up and toss him. Like, he's a small man.
100%. I mean, like, I will say also that this is a small nitpick. It's not that big a deal. But when Elena comes back and is firing at Jason Statham, she's shooting like right over The Rock's head. It's like the most like ND into the back of your buddy's head shit that I've ever seen. Also, it's the same lady, but she looks so different. I know that she just chopped her hair, but like she looks very different from the last movie. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just older.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
So there's that whole scene, and then what happened? What
they blow up the Toretto house.
Yeah. That's right. The fucking package gets sent there, and like Brian has to slam the door of the minivan and protect Jack.
Yeah. That's true.
I'm gonna be honest. Yeah. I don't like that they like did the whole thing with his kid in the movie. Like I feel like they could have made the movies without him having a kid, and they would have been just as good. I don't feel like it adds anything to the plot.
As a like if he had not died, I would probably be more inclined to agree with you. I think though, unfortunately, because like how else do you write Brian out other than he's a family man? But I guess you could say like it just happened off screen or something, right? I don't know. I agree. It's annoying. I don't like kids. So
yeah,
I hate them.
Yeah, we agree on that.
We agree on that. If you have a child, sorry.
To be you.
This sucks to be you. Enjoy your minivan. It's a Chrysler minivan in there, by the way. So,
yeah, well, the whole thing is sponsored by Dodge.
Oh yeah, that's right. It is. I forgot. How did I forget? They kept reminding me.
So yeah, that happens, and then, and then Dom has to go. He goes to like meet The Rock's character Hobbs in the hospital.
Yeah.
I think they have that hospital meeting because The Rock's all like fucking. He's in his cast or whatever.
Yeah. He's in his cast, and then he's pissed off, just doing his rock. Yeah,
and then your favorite scene: Dom goes to Tokyo and meets with.
Forehead.
Meets with Forehead.
I hate. We breezed through this before we started, but I fucking hate that guy, and I hate that he comes back again later. And I hate his stupid head, and I hate his stupid fucking like his receding hairline. He looks like 52 years old now, and he's trying to play it like he's.
It's funny because like canonically in the universe, he's still the high school kid. So yeah, he has his phone in his pocket with his Bama Boy chat handle.
Yeah, it's still accurate to the time that this is.
Meanwhile, he's got like a fucking 5 head going on.
Yeah. It's really, really hard to take this shit seriously. Also, what makes no sense to me, I know maybe this is a small nitpick, why are they burying Han in LA? Why are they doing that? Why did they fly his charred corpse over from Tokyo?
Yeah,
that didn't register for me until right now.
I don't know.
What I
Because like
do,
I feel like Han does not have the connection to LA that the core of their
no,
crew has.
no, he
Because like really,
definitely,
it's only sort of Dom, Brian, Mia, and Letty that have that LA connection. Like Tej and Roman were, like they
Miami.
were in Miami in Too Fast, Too Furious,
Yeah,
and everybody else. I mean, is there anybody else at that point?
I guess yeah. It's just the main fan like Mia
Yeah,
and
it's
Brian.
just them. Like Elena and Hobbs, I guess, but they don't have any connection
No,
to LA like the original crew. But
yeah,
it's okay. So yeah, they bring Han back from Tokyo where he wanted to be, so he could be buried in LA.
where he's never really even been. Yeah. What? Okay, you
Yeah,
know the reason that scene's in there. Again, we like these movies. The reason that scene is in there, I guaranteed, is because they needed a scene where he could see Jason Statham and like be like that's him, like, and they wrote a funeral scene because that's what makes sense to them, I think. But if I were the writers, what should have happened was that Vin Diesel in his, what is he driving in Tokyo again? What is that piece of
like
shit?
Plymouth Roadrunner.
Right. So he should have driven that to like a Japanese cemetery and like been standing there being like family, and all the like confused Japanese people would have been like, who the fuck is this guy? I think that would have been a way
That
better scene.
Vin Diesel at like a traditional Japanese funeral.
Yeah, Vin Diesel passing the fucking bones with the chopsticks or whatever the fuck they do. Like, it's about
Vin
family.
Diesel praying at Han's shrine.
Yeah. Vin Diesel
Before he
lighting
enters Sean's house,
incense.
he has to pray at the Han shrine.
Yeah. Vin Diesel lighting fucking sticks of incense at the Han shrine. I would pay money to see that. I would pay so much money to see that. Oh my god. You know what I really like? One good thing to come out of it, I adore that the villain drives a Maserati Ghibli. It's the best.
You know what?
thing.
It's like the perfect villainous car, but I feel like in order to really suit Jason Statham, he really needed to be more of a piece of shit.
Yeah, I think he needed to like
I feel
steal
like
candy
he's
from
like
children.
I feel like Jason Statham is just like he's a little too suave
Yeah,
for Maserati Gib. I feel like he should. You know what he should have been in? A Jag.
I agree with you. I think, and he is in earlier in the film. He's in an F type, which is good, but so the whole movie he's driving British cars because it's, you know, on brand. I'm fine with that. That's cool. I'm good with that.
Or like you know what? Like I feel like they could have just given him like a Maserati Gran Turismo or a Quattroporte. I'm fine with that. But a
Yeah.
Ghibli, really?
Well, no, it really like because he's the bad guy, but he's not a real piece of shit. Like if you, I want to be listen. I want you to hear me, whoever's listening. If you or a loved one drive a Maserati Ghibli, you should be very concerned that they're embezzling money from whatever business venture, friendship. They probably don't pay you. You noticed lately you're always paying the bill when they show up? Because I promise you, okay, it's all intentional. Anybody who owns one, don't trust them, okay?
Yep.
I'm also just realizing that it's an Italian company. I said he drives all British cars. So this is really a statement piece.
There's a tax audit in your future if you drive a Ghibli.
If anybody that we know personally drives a Ghibli, we're literally dropping it in the worst parking lot in the Toronto area and like dangling the keys and throwing it. Nobody that we know is allowed to drive a Ghibli. You can drive a Maserati, you can make bad financial decisions, but a Ghibli specifically, no.
Not allowed.
Absolutely not. Okay, he gets abducted by Mr. Nobody. The Corona scene, I wanted to touch on this. Fuck. Okay, he's like, I have this Belgian brew, and Dom's like, this is not really my speed, or whatever the fuck he says. And he goes, I know, and he pulls out a branded Corona bucket with multiple Coronas.
Filled with ice.
Filled with ice. And then Dom does his stupid smile, and you're like, fuck off, man. Like, genuinely. It's just, I'm sure they're paying, but like, it's too on the nose. I'm more of a Corona man myself. Sorry, that's what he says. And he pulls the bucket out, and the guy goes, Like, fuck off, man. Why does the way that Dom holds a Corona is also, it's like a baby holding a sippy cup. Like, it's like, he like grips it like a fucking goblin. I can't. He eats and looks like a baby.
He either grips it like a goblin, or he's got like 3 fingers holding it by the stem.
He does both in this fucking scene. He goes goblin sip and then 3 fingers by the stem by his side. Does he know how to eat and drink? Like, who needs a license? Who needs to eat and drink like a civilized human? Like, it's
do you think he holds? Do you think he holds his fork with like his whole hand and kind of uses it like a spoon?
He holds it like a steering wheel. It makes sense now. Oh my god.
You know, have you ever seen, like, you know how like toddlers hold utensils, like they just full fist them, one in each hand, and
that's
they're
exactly right.
the utensils straight up, and they just use their whole fucking hand to.
Yeah,
that's Vin Diesel.
Exactly correct. Vin Diesel is a literal toddler. We figured it out. That's why he's bald.
Same vocabulary too.
Exact same. Okay, so now they're in on with Mr. Nobody to take down Shaw. That's fine. I have no problem with that. They do the fucking falling out of the sky scene. Man.
Just fucking...
Why be in a car? And it's also not even why be in a car with the Takahata, like... Or what is the brand? Am I butchering? Takata fucking... seat belts? Like, by the way, we're legit. Like... Come on, man.
Gotta have that JDM street cred when you're fucking driving out of the back of it. But it's like, okay, so they build these assault vehicles that they have to drive out of the plane to go assault this convoy. Like, why don't you just, like, Mr. Nobody's funding this.
Yeah.
Why don't you just take a helicopter gunship?
I don't know, but because go to hell. Because they need the lady on board. Obviously.
I feel like you could execute that mission a lot cleaner and retrieve the lady on board with a helicopter than you can.
I don't know. I agree with you. I'm
here for the scene. I mean, fun scene.
Yeah,
I like that.
It's fun.
Roman never lets go of his parachute and just fucking flies around for a little bit screaming.
No, that's funny. I like it.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. No, I'm definitely into that. Don't get me wrong. It's funny. Like, it's an enjoyable watch. It's just stupid. So, I don't know. Call me crazy. But...
Yeah, and then I like that it goes from... So they do that whole scene where they chase the bus, then the bus falls off the mountain, and they run up the side of the bus, and then Dom does the perfectly timed power slide so they can grab onto the back of his Charger.
I think it's Letty that does it.
Is it Letty?
Yeah, it might be. I think this is the green...
It's one... Sorry. It's one of them.
Yeah.
But perfectly timed jump.
Yeah, exactly.
Usual, and perfectly timed slide. And then so it goes from that scene where they're like, all right, yeah, we got the God's Eye and we got Tej's new girlfriend.
Yeah, Tej's new girlfriend, yeah.
Yeah, and then they're like, oh, we're in Dubai now, and we gotta go like infiltrate this prince's birthday party. We're gonna need some fancier cars, so somehow they get a Bugatti and some other...
So here's the lineup. I got it right in front of me, so you can... Because there is... One of these things is not like the other. One of these things is a fucking SRT Charger. McLaren 12C, 3rd gen Dodge Viper, 4th gen Dodge Viper, 458 Bugatti.
Okay, so let's just make this clear. 4 of these things are not like the other.
Yeah. And one of them sure as shit isn't.
So we have like Bugatti and Ferrari 458, and like even on their own, those are like one is not like the other, but that's fine. We'll class them, and those are real exotics and hypercars.
Yeah.
Dodge Viper, Dodge Charger,
McLaren 12C.
McLaren 12C.
That's a supercar, I guess.
Yeah, that's fine. That can go over there with the Bugatti
right.
and the Ferrari.
Really,
it's on the same level.
The Viper.
Yeah, so really, like the Viper and the Charger.
It's just
Have you ever played an MMO where like you're just starting the game and you just follow your really high level friend around while he does shit and pick up sort of the shit that he doesn't need?
Yeah.
That's what those two cars are in this
No,
scene.
they are.
They're not supposed to be here.
No, they're not supposed to. He's really proud of it though. Like this is
Yeah.
the thing, right? That bugs me, is that I think because it's a Dodge. So what they could have done, because of that's Dom's whole thing, American. He should have been in the Dodge Viper. Because he's not. He's in the stupid Charger. And then I don't know who comes out. Is it Letty that comes out? Yeah, Letty comes out of the Viper. And she's driven other things.
I like I feel like they're like, all right, they're supposed to, like, you know, American domestic whatever, like why couldn't she have like a Ford GT?
That's exactly what I was about to say. Why didn't she have a Ford GT or something? It's a Dodge Charger. Why is that the Viper I could give a pass? Why is it a Dodge Charger? And it's got a black hood. Like some kid spray painted it. I don't give a shit how many times. It's Brampton Special. It's just missing the tassels on the front. What the shit, man?
What year was what year was 6? Or sorry, what year was 7? 7 was 2015.
Something like that. Something, yeah, 2015, 2014, something like that.
What year did the Hellcat come out?
2016, I want to say. Let's see, Hellcat first year. 2015, but at the auto show.
Could they have at least have made it a Hellcat? Like,
yeah, I mean, I wonder.
It still doesn't really get a pass, but at least make it the good one.
Fast and Furious 7 came out in 2015, but obviously that was delayed because he died like when most of it was filmed, and so probably like a lot of that stuff was filmed in 2014 or whatever.
Yeah, or
so
like,
it really
you know,
didn't exist.
Even if he had like something like the Daytona from number 6, that would have been more appropriate.
Anything else would have been far more appropriate than what was just put on display and expected for us to believe. You know what fucks me up too is like their general audience is not like, this isn't just us being nitpicky. One of those things is most certainly not like the others. Like, people drove to the theater in that car. That is not something that you wanted to see on screen as the leading man's vehicle.
I'm sorry, nobody with a Bugatti is speaking to anybody with a Charger.
No, nobody. No, but no, I wouldn't.
They are not rolling in the same social circles.
Yeah, no, they're not even. They're not in the same area code, bro. Like, zero shot.
Yeah, like the only time the Charger owner is speaking to the Bugatti owner is maybe when the Bugatti owner is picking up his coffee.
Yeah, pretty much.
And you, as the Charger owner, are handing it to him.
On that, we most certainly agree. I don't know. I'm sorry. It's dumb. It's really dumb.
Yeah,
okay.
That whole scene, like, they infiltrate the birthday party.
The Lycan
Vin
Hypersport
Diesel lifts a fucking car.
Okay,
so that they can steal the. You unpack this one.
Okay, I'm gonna keep it really brief because I don't want to overstay my welcome on this. I like cars. You like cars. If you are watching this movie or listening to this, you must like cars. You understand. Okay, for really brief, for those who don't know what the fuck a Lycan Hypersport is, it is a 718 Cayman, like a low tier Porsche body that they put like it's based on one of those, isn't it?
Well, no, this would have been like a 981 generation Cayman.
Sure.
That it's based on. It's like they use the Cayman underpinnings and then put the Lycan body on top of it, and they do their own engine. Like, it's a Porsche based engine, but they turbocharge it and bore it and stroke it. It's it's a legitimately fast car.
It's not. Okay, it's a fast car. I think it looks good. I want to make that clear. I like it.
I agree.
I have a problem when suddenly the whole tone of a scene shifts and Brian starts rattling off not that impressive numbers, when they just came in with a Bugatti. That is my issue, is that that doesn't make sense. This isn't the first movie where they have no money.
Yeah.
That's the issue.
My issue with the scene is mostly Vin Diesel lifting
I'm getting
the
there.
car.
Then Vin Diesel lifts the car, yeah.
Okay.
I
Because, like,
yeah,
I'm not
go
going to
ahead.
say you can't lift a car, because there are some cars that, like, sure, they're legitimately light. And, like, yeah, you can probably lift it from one end
Sure.
if you wanted to. But, like, the Lycan, it's not a heavy car, but it still weighs somewhere in the 3,000 pound range. Vin Diesel isn't lifting
1,500
a
pounds at minimum.
Lycan by himself. And furthermore, you're not lifting it by the front bumper.
That's what I was gonna say. Is he
You're
lifts
just
it
gonna
from the
fucking
front
take
bumper?
that shit off.
No, you're gonna take it clean fucking off. What also bugs me, I'm just because I'm looking at it, when Brian like pulls himself in by grabbing whatever it is, the exhaust, the whole car moves. So
Yeah.
it's just not well done. Like,
Yeah.
I like, look, this is the same guy who was lifting or holding an engine up with one hand on a fucking chain, you know? So like, color me, you know, I
Best
don't know.
man in the world, apparently.
He's the strongest man in the world, and he's lifting it from like the front fins of the front bumper. Like, eat shit. Just also like, yo, I don't know, man. Like, it's not anything like Lycan for a long time. Like, it was considered like vaporware. Like, it was they weren't delivering cars, right? Like they.
I'd still say it's kind of considered vaporware. Like, I don't.
Right. There are some that exist now, is what I mean. At the time this movie came out,
Yeah.
nobody had them.
Yeah, they were like. Do you remember the Devil's 16?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
I kind of put this on the same level as the Devil's 16.
Yeah. No, for
It's
sure.
a little more realistic, but it's still sort of vaporware. Also, like, I like how the Lycan looks, but it really bothers me how its doors work.
I'm trying. They're like suicide doors, or I'm trying to remember what they are.
They're like reverse hinged, but they open upwards, kind of like
Right. Yeah.
how
Like a.
Aston Martin's. I just don't like it. I like the
No,
rest. I just don't like the doors.
they're dumb. They are dumb. I think it looks good. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like visually, just speaking specifically on the Lycan Hypersport, it's a little squished. It looks like a car that should probably be stretched a little bit more. It looks like a kit car a little bit in my head, but a good one, to be clear. It's a good looking car.
Like it looks like a car that needs to be built on a platform that isn't the smallest
Isn't a 918?
Porsche.
Yeah, I on that
981.
we 981. Why not 9? Why definitely not a 918? Yeah, 981. Yeah, so we're generally in agreement on the Lycan Hypersport. I'd take it for a whirl if I got the opportunity, and hell yeah, But
Would I? I mean, who wouldn't? I like that they like literally have diamonds embedded in the headlights. That's
I hate
such
that
a
about
very. That's such a very. But like when you realize that the car is like it's a car built and made in the UAE, it's like that's such
it does track.
a very UAE thing. It's because
Yeah.
it's like there's so much money there that it's just these little things are what matter to give you an up over the next guy.
Pretty much. It's yeah. How do you feel about them jumping cars between towers? Yeah, that's the face of disappointment.
Most realistic thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, it looks exactly correct. Nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with
Definitely would not cause any damage.
it. Yeah.
Cars can go through concrete.
Also, are the brakes out in this scene? He's like trying to slam on the brakes and nothing's happening.
I mean, if I just jumped my car through a building, I wouldn't be surprised if the brakes didn't work on the other side.
I think it's before he jumps it.
I wouldn't be surprised if something didn't work on the other side.
Oh yeah. Oh no, wait, sorry. This because there's 3 towers, so he jumps to the first one, brakes don't work. Now he must jump it to the second one. Beautiful. Yeah, it's like what I'm sure everybody. This is like a low hanging fruit as far as Fast and Furious goes. This is dumb. This is fucking stupid. None of it makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, fuck off. Like, also what bothers me is in this they're treating the Lycan Hypersport like it's so desirable that this person they lock it in their penthouse.
In their penthouse, yep.
Yeah, like No.
I
Like
mean, when you consider how many of them were made, like, yeah, I can see it. It's definitely a thing that rich people do where they like will have cars hoisted into their penthouse.
sure.
I've definitely seen it before, and I wouldn't be surprised if somebody who actually owned a Lycan did it, but it doesn't make the scene any more believable.
My only issue with the scene again is because it's a Lycan. If it was a McLaren F1, I'd believe it more. If it was a fucking whatever, like it's just that it's this vaporware car that's nothing and they treat it like it's everything. That's the problem. That's my whole ish. So
Fair enough.
we can move on. I don't know, whatever. Jason Statham does a funny switcheroo and kills Mr. Nobody in the
Yeah,
desert.
yeah. Well, that's after Letty and Ronda Rousey have a little
They
kerfuffle.
have a tussle. Yeah, they have a tussle.
They have a little tussle. T-Pain is DJing during the tussle.
Yeah.
But then yeah, Shaw comes and um shoots Mr. Nobody just a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. Just a
Um,
baby.
just just a couple of bullet holes.
Yeah.
Um, and then they go back to LA after that, I think.
They do go back to LA after
Yeah,
Shaw gets away with the
Dom says
God's
something
Eye.
like, "If we're gonna fight him, we're gonna do it on our own turf."
Yeah. We're going to fight him on our home turf.
And they
Yeah.
go back to LA because the best place to have a car chase and battle is in the city of LA, which is known for not having any traffic whatsoever
None
at any
whatsoever.
time of day.
Love that he also picks up his fucking car from the garage of the Toretto house. Again,
Oh, of course.
I hate that thing. I genuinely hate this. These movies have made me hate cars where like the throttle body sits outside of the hood. They've made me hate those fucking cars. Or I guess intake, whatever the fuck.
Well,
It,
that's this that blah, blah, blah. Supercharger.
oh, is that the supercharger? I don't
Yeah,
know. It's all foreign to me, I'll be honest with you. I just look at it and I'm like, I don't get it.
I forget. I honestly forget the exact name for that design offhand, but that's what it is. Like that throttle body thing, like it's sitting on top of the supercharger.
Okay, so it was a throttle
Sitting
body.
on
Okay,
top of
yeah,
the engine.
yeah, yeah. The whole thing can just whatever. I also love that Dom's preparation in this scene is like saw off
It's
a
a
shotgun.
blower. That's what it's called, a
Oh,
blower.
blower design. Okay. Yeah, I
But
don't know, man.
yes, like Dom has an unlimited supply of very supercharged Dodge Chargers and 12 gauge shotguns.
Yeah, that he yeah, like really old 12 gauge shotguns.
Yeah.
Um, okay, we'll wrap it up quickly because we've been going for a little bit, but I think we're almost at 2 hours. But we want to finish this off. We like these movies. The LA scenes are stupid. The street fight scene is stupid. He does another fucking sick wheelie again, right? To like
Yeah,
crush
because they're fighting
Jason.
in the garage with Shaw,
Yeah,
and they drive at each other, and he does a wheelie so
yeah,
that Shaw drives into the underside of his car, and then they have a little kerfuffle tussle in the garage there,
yeah,
um and then Dom does the fucking jumps the Charger at the helicopter, but misses, but hooks some grenades onto it,
yeah,
and then Hobbs with the world's most, and sorry, before we get into Hobbs with the world's most accurate pistol, the scene where he's in the hospital and like breaks out of his cast,
yeah.
fuck off.
No, it's the most. It is the most The Rock written scene that's ever been written. It's infuriating. I hate it. I can't.
Just fucking
I'm
tears
glad he
it
gets
to
very little
shreds.
screen time. I'm very glad. Like the scene where they do like a fucking sick 360 and like pass the whatever the fuck her name is, Ludacris's girlfriend,
Yeah, I
like
don't
between the
remember.
cars.
Yeah,
It's eat shit. Like there's nothing more to say but eat shit. Dom does a cool
yeah,
wheelie, yeah. So then they shoot the helicopter. Great, fantastic.
yeah.
I
They
don't know.
shoot the
It's dumb.
grenades because
Yeah.
grenades work that way, and then the helicopter blows up. And then everyone's like, "Oh man, no, Dom is dead." But apparently, if you apparently, if you solve your amnesia problem, as soon as Dom dies, he comes back to life.
Yeah, that's how it works.
So,
There's
so
it's
Dom comes back to life, and then Shaw is arrested.
yeah.
And everybody lives happily ever after, and they go, and then they do like the final sort of beach scene with Brian, and this was sort of like his goodbye.
Yeah.
Um,
I will
Sort of in the
say,
series because they obviously can't include him in any future movies, but also like because he died during the production of the movie, and this was sort of his tribute. That's the word I'm looking for.
yeah. This is his tribute, this is his send off. I think I really this is we've sort of been saying talking about this because like we talked about it a little bit when we first talked about the Fast and the Furious, but like it's really well done. I wouldn't have done anything differently. I think for like everything they did is perfect. The car they picked is perfect. The white Supra is perfect. All perfect. My one gripe with this scene is the voice clip they use for him where he says, "Thought you could leave without saying goodbye," sounds like it came out of a robot. I know that it's like cobbled together. I could
Yeah.
do better. I could do better.
Yep. So I actually have a different gripe with that scene.
Go ahead.
My gripe with the scene is that they dubbed over the Supra's engine note with a four-cylinder engine noise.
Why are they doing this?
That's my gripe with it.
So two very different lines of thought. Um,
Yeah.
although
Mine's
obviously,
very fucking autistic and mechanical. It's the wrong car noise.
no, that's fine. I agree that that's annoying, but the that took me out of it a lot more personally.
Yeah, like his voice, it sounds canned.
It sounds like it sounds like it was like a robot generated voice. And I
Yeah.
get it. It's not like they could source a clip of him saying it. I understand. But like I genuinely could have edited that better myself.
Yeah.
White Super breaking off, that's iconic. That's going to be iconic for the rest of the time. No question about it. Like I think that they really sampled a lot of good scenes like for that montage. One of them being the
I think they did as well. I like I think that was like that scene was as good as they could have made it, I think.
outside of what the thing about that's the only thing
Yep.
that could have been better. I don't want them to change
I also like
anything.
I also like the white Supra was his actual car, like he
Yeah.
owned it in real life. I appreciate that they included that.
Yeah. No, I do like that too. It's honestly like I really like as well. I had this thought before I saw it, right? But when I saw them start like they're doing this montage, right? I am
Mhm.
kind of shocked that they not shocked. I was pleasantly surprised that they included stuff from Too Fast, Too Furious. I don't know why. I'm not gonna lie to you, but there's a little part of me that's like Vin Diesel wasn't in this one, so they won't, and he's like a bit
I
of a
think they
dick.
included the Too Fast, Too Furious stuff because in real life, he was very good friends with Tyrese
Right, but in that scene, it's just ludicrous.
Roman.
Yeah, but in that scene, it's just
So,
ludicrous, being like, "What's happening?" That's the scene I'm
oh,
talking about.
okay, fair enough.
The scene
I
where
mean,
Roman and him like it's actually from Fast Five, I think. So that's why I'm like, huh, you know. But I mean, they needed a ludicrous scene,
I
obviously.
mean, in a way, it was like they had to close out. Like it was a tribute to him, but they were also sort of closing out his character
Fully, I
as well.
agree.
Like
I
that's so I understand why they included the Too Fast, Too Furious stuff.
how many like what do you feel about the dieselism of it all? Like, do you remember the media circus, like when this actually happened and Vin Diesel was singing the fucking song on like news stations and stuff? Do you remember that whole media circus?
Yeah, like yeah,
It
I don't I honestly don't know how I feel about it because like I understand that they were all very close and really good friends,
yeah.
but like I feel like it was just like a fucking media circus.
Yeah, and I only really
And like I feel like like news outlets and talk shows and stuff kind of took advantage of that to get the rest of the cast to come on and talk about things.
yeah.
Like part of me feels like Diesel Dimension is hilarious, but like part of me feels like Vin Diesel probably wasn't in his full right of mind while doing
No,
this stuff.
no, I agree. I think that for once to go to bat for Vin Diesel, I do actually believe that they're
Like,
friends,
yeah, like
and
Homie was
that's
probably good. Like he was going through it
for
at that
sure.
time.
And like this is not to say that this is the forefront of his mind, but like I'm sure in that moment they're like, can we even continue this big thing that's like most of our lives, right? Like that's a bit, the Fast and Furious is a multi-billion-dollar franchise. Like,
Yeah, like for a lot of the people in those movies, like that was sort of the series that put them on the map.
yeah. I mean,
Like
for
I
Paul Walker for sure.
I really don't think, yeah, like I'm, as much as I love Paul Walker, I really don't think he would have been as big as he was without the Fast and the
No,
Furious.
0% chance. He needed to be a nobody. He needed to be a no-name actor to
Yeah,
to
and like
yeah.
same thing for like Tyrese, and like Ludacris has his music career obviously, but
Sure.
I feel like his parts in the movie, like those two things sort of played off of each other to make him as
Yeah.
big as he is.
He was enormous when these movies came out, and I think they wanted him in like as a more not a cameo, but like it's like, oh, there's Ludacris, right? But I obviously he's less of a music guy now, and he's in this
Yeah,
time, and he's more of an actor, and like that takes the
like
forefront.
he was really big in when Too Fast Too Furious came out, and
Yeah,
like if you know the lore behind it, they originally wanted Ja Rule to play his
did they?
character.
I
Like they
didn't know
wanted to
that.
bring him back. Yeah, they wanted to bring him back from the first movie because you
Mm,
remember he had like those scenes in the first movie, but he was like, no, I'm too famous. I'm making too much money off my music. So
bad move,
Universal was
bro.
like, all right, Ludacris, do you want to do it? And he was like, sure. Like that's literally how Tej was born, is because Ja Rule didn't want to be in the second movie.
But he's in the second movie, isn't he?
Ja Rule is not. He's in the first movie.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, no, you're right. Sorry. I'm mistaking the scenes. That he's in the first race, right?
Yeah, Ja
What?
Rule is in the he's in the first race of the he's the no Monica guy.
Yeah, no, I know, but that's that. For some reason in my head, that was the second movie, but no, it's not.
No,
That's
that's the first.
yeah, that's yeah, yes, okay, yeah, no, I see. Yeah, I understand.
So Ja Rule really fumbled that.
That's a big fumble for sure.
That is a bit like he had a feature track on the first movie and they wanted to make him a bigger character and give him another feature track on the second, and he was just like, nah, too
That's a
too famous.
that's ridiculous. That's a shit move.
It is a shit move. But you know what? I love Act a Fool by Ludacris, so I'm
It's
I'm
great.
glad that came out that way.
I'm a fan. No, I do like it. I do like Ludacris as like no, there's none of the cast I don't like generally speaking. Obviously, like Vin Diesel is a goofball. Like he's not a very good
Yeah.
actor, but
But I
like
like Vin Diesel.
no, I like Vin Diesel, but I like Vin Diesel as he is. I don't like him because like he's an amazing actor. I don't like him the way that I
Yeah.
like Joaquin Phoenix. Like he's an amazing actor, right? Like he's an amazing
Yeah.
actor. But Ludacris, but like Vin Diesel is just Vin Diesel. He's just like a weird fucking guy, and I
Yeah,
like
like
him
I like
exactly as
him
he is.
because he is Vin Diesel.
Yes, 100%. It's
Yeah.
not because I
I,
think he's good at anything. He's good
yeah,
at
like
being
I
Vin
like
Diesel.
him because he's Vin Diesel and
Yeah.
because he's got like his D&D character's name like tattooed on his back or something.
Does he? I think I've
Yeah,
heard
like
that before. Yeah.
he's really into Dungeons and Dragons.
God bless. I mean, I'm sure he's very happy about Letty being in that one Dungeons and Dragons movie. Then,
Yeah.
yeah, um, yeah. So I mean, like that's it. I think we do like I feel like constantly need to defend ourselves, but like we really do like these movies. Like we really
Yeah.
do. We like picking them apart too, though. Like I really, really enjoy it. I'm not gonna lie, I don't really want to talk about the rest of them. I think this is a good place to stop talking about Fast and Furious because the rest of them are just whatever. I don't care. We could touch on them, but
Yeah, like I don't know. I'm not really here or there about the rest of them.
yeah, it doesn't do a lot for me. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's the rest of them. I think after you lose Brian, it really goes off the fucking deep end. Like it really really goes off the deep end, and at that point you don't need me to point or me or Nick to point out what's wrong with them. It's pretty fucking
Yeah,
apparent.
like I mean, after I think Paul was out of the picture, like Vin Diesel sort of took full creative control over the series, and now he's just like he just like he's putting his own ideas and stuff into it now, and like
Yeah.
his vision, and there's nobody else there that was sort of on the same level as him in the movies like Paul Walker was, because they were, for better, like they were more or less equals.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, they're like you were either not you were either, but like you're either like a Vin Diesel guy or a Paul Walker guy,
Yeah, like
really.
you
I
were
think.
either you yeah, like you were either Team O'Connor or fucking Team Toretto.
And I think that was honestly good. It was a great way to capture
Yeah,
because JDM and American Muscle are very hard audiences to bridge, and having friendly competitiveness like there, like really was the best way that they could have done it. Credit where it's due. Now, it really doesn't. It's not around anymore, you know. So I don't know. I mean, it is what it is. It's just an action movie now. It's all it is. It's car flavored action movie.
yeah,
Nothing more,
that's
nothing
more or
less.
less it. Like the cars are just like originally it was a movie about the cars, and then it became an action movie that just had cool cars in it.
Yeah, I think that's really like eroded now at this point. You know, like that
Yeah,
now it's be like it had already had been eroding when you get to 7, but beyond that, it's that now it's super gone. Like
yeah.
total
Like I
joke.
really think like after 5 is when it really just started going very quickly downhill as far as like this is a car movie.
Yeah, yeah, we obviously agree on that. I mean, it is what it is. I still enjoy them. I still really like them. I still rewatch them once in a while. You know, uh, really, really, really like Too Fast, Too Furious. Even though I've have issues with it
That
too.
is by far my favorite one.
Yeah, I'm kind of between the first
And I think it's
one.
just because it's like a campy sort of stupid like it's I don't want to say it's not a black comedy, but it's like you can tell it was directed by a director that's like
Black.
made black movies
Yeah, it's got that
like
specific
in a
flavor
good
to
way.
it.
Like
Yeah,
it's
no,
fun.
no, this is not a negative thing. They'll call us racist.
Yes, like I'm not saying that in a racist way. It's like it's a really fun movie to watch.
Yeah, no, I think it's just got that good energy of that like that sort of era
Yeah.
too. Like it was a very
Like
interesting
yeah,
time.
like it captures sort of the era well enough, but it's very of its era. Like you can tell when it came out. But like
Yeah,
I don't know, the best way I can describe it is like I can watch that movie and I can sit there and like watch it and focus on it and enjoy it, but I can also just leave it on as background noise and like it's still enjoyable and I'll still catch the one-liners and laugh here and there.
so forget about it, cuh.
Yeah,
Love it.
we hungry.
We, I fucking love We Hungry. I'm never gonna not love We Hungry. I say that shit way too much. People look at me strange in like shopping malls. Like I just I need to stop saying it. So
If only it would fit on a plate.
if o-
Nine
dude,
characters, we only get 8.
yeah, that's a shame. Yeah, I'm gonna. Can we? I guess you could. I'm gonna look now after we finish this recording if we could find a way to make We Hungry fit on a Ontario license plate. I would just love that.
You could do WEHWNGRY. That
But
would
I feel
fit.
like I need the H. It's hungry. It's not hungry. It's
It
We
needs
Hungry.
the HA.
H. Hangry.
Like it needs the HAWN. The
Oh,
hungry.
hungry. Yeah. Oh man. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
You can
6,
get
7.
just hungry on a plate.
Yeah, it's not the same. I don't know. Either way, it's one of my favorite things. I got a T-shirt that says "We Hungry."
That'd be a good plate for Evo. Hungry.
Hungry? That'd be great. Or an Eclipse, but not the Spider, because honestly, it's a terrible car.
It's
Fucking
such a
horrible car.
fucking hateful piece of shit.
It's the worst. You know what's
I
worse than
remember
that?
when
Yeah, go ahead.
like after that movie came out, I because like my dad works at a dealership, so obviously he knows people and has like friends that work at dealerships, and we knew somebody that worked at a Mitsubishi dealer, and like we were just sort of visiting them one day. I think my dad had to drop something off, and because we were on our way somewhere, and I was just tagging along with them because it was like summer break. And like we walked into the dealership, and they had like an Eclipse Spider there, a purple one. And the guy was like, "Hey, do you want to sit in it? It's the car from Too Fast, Too Furious." And I was like, "No, I'm okay."
No, I'm good.
Yeah, I like like even at like what year did Too Fast, Too Furious? We can probably end on this, but
2003, 2004.
Too Fast, Too Furious was 2003 June. So
Yeah,
this was probably like August 2003
right.
sometime, late July, August. And like I would have been 9. So 9-year-old me knew that like this car wasn't it.
That this car is in fact cringe.
Yes.
The only thing worse than that generation Eclipse is the one that followed immediately after that. That's worse.
Yeah. You know what? The one that followed after that, at least the V6 version of it, like the engine at least made a little bit of power. I will give it that. It
Yeah,
looks fucking bad.
yeah.
Like the Eclipse Spider, I think looks good, but
That car looks like it
everything
was
else
made
is
to be a
bad.
convertible. I fully agree. That car was designed with the thought that this is going to have no roof. I
Yeah,
actually
like
think it
that
looks
car was
good.
designed and it was like white girls with blonde hair are gonna love this.
They're gonna love
And
it,
they did.
and and that's why there's so
And they
many of
did.
them. But you know what I've noticed in the
The
last,
generation
yeah,
after that was just it just looked fucking bad.
yeah.
And I hate because it was like always a starter car and like Need for Speed too, and it was like fuck, I don't want to use it. It's
I
shit.
I have a love hate relationship with it. Like that one, the last generation Eclipse, was what I was talking about. Is definitely made to be a convertible. It definitely looks better as a convertible. But I will say, I had this little. If ever I got a crazy deal on a 20 like last year like Eclipse in yellow with the V6 and a manual, I might just buy it. But it would have to literally check every single
Like
box.
hardtop V6 manual or convertible V6
Hard
manual.
top. I wouldn't. I don't think I'd buy it. I don't think I'd ever
Okay, yeah,
own a
fair enough.
convertible. Like one of
Yeah,
these
you're not a
motherfuckers.
convertible person. You
Like I
have
think
that like
from the
convertible
back,
complex.
you have to have the wing with the back and that wing and like exactly like that. Passable daily. Only way I'd own it. If you ever were like, yeah, I got the 4-cylinder, die. They also came in all-wheel drive, if I'm not mistaken, didn't they?
Uh, I don't know if the Spider and the last generation did. I know the generation like Brian's Eclipse from the first movie. That generation and the generation
Right.
before it, you could get them with the 4G63 and all-wheel drive. Like they were basically baby
Uh,
Evos.
okay, that's what I
And
was.
like
Yeah,
that's kind of what sucks about the Spider and the generation after is like they went from being a baby Evo to just being a
for
basic white
babies.
girl car.
Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah. I think okay. I just saw. Sorry, we'll end right on this one. I just saw a picture of exactly what I posted at you, like the yellow one, and there's a bumper sticker on the back. This is somebody's Instagram post. It says "Break necks, kill egos" on a Mitsubishi Eclipse with like a test pipe.
No. So
Yeah,
like it's no.
dude.
No, I'm not here.
No.
You know what? You know what I'm gonna do after the podcast? I'm gonna go watch the commercial for the second or the third generation Eclipse Spider, the
Yeah,
one that has "Days Go by Dirty Vegas" in it, because that's a commercial of its era and of a generation.
we recommend everybody does that. But we
Yeah,
have
I'm
to
gonna
wrap
watch
now.
that commercial and then I'm gonna watch Dave Chappelle's parody of that commercial.
I recommend everybody does that. Thank you for putting
Yes.
up with us. I genuinely think we've gone for 2 hours. I don't know, but
Yep.
yeah, we've been going for
Just
over 2
consider it a
hours.
treat for us not being here next week.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, yeah. All one viewer is very excited about it.
Yeah.
Thank you for putting up with our bullshit. And when we come back, we're not gonna be here next week. When we come back the week after, we're gonna be off Fast and Furious, and we're gonna talk about some actual car news. Hopefully, some real good shit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, hopefully I'll have my car back by then. We'll see.
we really hope so. So watch out for Instagram, whatever the fuck. I don't know. Just follow us around, and then you'll see us when you see us. Thank you, everybody.
Yep.
Bye.